Toyota, let's go places.
Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
Free man and free-to-play football.
Speaking of free men,
yeah. Evan Lazar
is here after his move.
I'm not so sure about free man anymore, but yeah.
No, you're hitched.
Does Mike and Evan know how you refer to Bill Polian?
Bill Polian.
Polian.
Because he's always lying. Oh, he hated us.
Kind of
He hated us.
He used to call us the Patriots.
You're Polian from now on.
So there.
You know?
Take that. Do you want to see booty?
I don't like the way that question was
And
phrased.
the police report that day
Yeah.
said that they were registered to
I don't
him.
remember that.
I do. I know you don't listen to those shows. You and a lot of other people claim that you're too good for those shows. But they read it on the police
Paul
report.
has to get personal. You know, he has to get personal.
Well, I mean, you're saying that they claimed something.
I'm not
that was
yelling at
like,
you, Paul.
We're
Just
making it out to be like a Deflategate thing.
calm
where
down.
They said,
A young quarterback that'll establish himself as a franchise guy. Pickett, Ritter, or Fields.
Mac Jones.
Pickett.
He's not one of the selected.
Well, that's rude.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Presented by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is Thursday here at Gillette Stadium, a big show, our last of the week before we get ready for the Philadelphia Eagles, our first picks show of the season. So in the last part of the show, we'll go around the table and do our picks both
Gotta hurry.
straight up and against the spread, as we've been doing for many years, establishing ourselves as really the gurus of picking games in the New England area. And we'll continue that tradition today. We've got the show within a show. We'll be giving away T-shirts today. Yesterday we gave away the posters. And by the way, if you're looking for those game day poster series, you better hurry because they're flying off. I know right after the show they sold 70, and there's only 270 posters. So you better get yours if you're interested because you want to get the whole set. You want to get the whole season. And that starts this week. Some big news today, the Mac Jones press conference.
Big news.
Big news. Evan Lazar is now the offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots, according to Mac Jones.
Breaking news.
and according to Evan Lazar.
I'm just kidding. But Mac did call out Evan by name and say you might as well be the offensive coordinator. Our Evan Lazar getting the VIP treatment from the starting quarterback of the New England Patriots.
I mean, he's almost the only person in the room every single week who is asking scheme questions. He's not asking about confidence and perseverance and all
Right.
the fluff.
What's
He's
it like
in-
to play in week one?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about that.
No, he wants the X's and O's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Tough one.
I think he's doing his research. I mean, how else would he be able to do his job? You know, is it after further review after the game?
Yeah,
This is helpful knowledge.
that's right. So that was I was just doing other work, and I had Mac up on my computer screen, and all of a sudden like what's going on here? But that was funny. That was funny.
I can imagine your reaction. Oh, what did they do now,
Yeah,
those idiots?
I was like, how are we going to keep his ego in check now?
But to be fair, I feel like a lot of the players know him by name. I remember David Andrews was at the podium one day, and he's like, shouldn't you be on your honeymoon by now? Like, didn't you just get engaged? It was pretty funny. Like, they're all paying attention.
And I wonder if they follow him and all that on social. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
All he writes about is football, Fred.
They don't follow me. Yeah.
I bet you. Well, first of all, they all know you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't. Like, I would know, like, if David Andrews follows you, I would know that.
But you don't really. Yeah.
Have you
we
looked
don't have
at
to
your
get into it.
followers? Like, maybe he does.
Maybe. But don't you get a thing every time somebody follows you?
You do.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, but do you pay attention to that?
Not all the time.
Maybe you don't have as many followers as I thought.
I think X is playing games, though. I've been stuck.
There's no question.
I'm trying to get over the 100,000 mark. I've been stuck at 10,600 for a long time.
He gets me with that every single time.
10,600.
Yeah.
What's your goal?
100,000.
100,000 you want. He's been saying this since it started.
So I really.
My goal is to get to 100,000.
I used to do that like on a game day. I type in. I'm really hoping today I get over the 100,000 mark, and then people, you're only at 10,000. I thought that's the joke.
Idiot.
It's a joke.
Maybe if you tweeted more, you would actually get over that hump.
Yeah, no, you should just follow me because I'm me. I don't need to give
And
you
this
a
mic
reason.
just
How do you think Evan got as many followers as he has?
I know. He
I
works at it.
I'll talk about that off air.
He works at it. And as we
Whoa.
So,
Hey.
as you can see, we're video all day, all the time now. All 3 shows are going to be video. Deuce is here, Tamara's here, Paul, myself. Evan will be here shortly, and then he'll have to leave for practice, as will Tamara.
Isn't he the offensive coordinator, though? He's going
We just talked about that. Yeah,
Fred already hammered it.
That's where I was. I was trying to find out how I get the DC job.
That's the big
Both of us
news.
in, right.
That's the big news.
Right.
So how do we prank him on that? Like, do we say that, like,
We gotta
Robert wants to talk to you or something like that?
I think we got to get Mac in on it. I think we got to get Mac in, and we got to set him up. Have Mac go to him with like, "Hey, Evan, we're working on something here, and I'd just love to get your input on it."
Like Bill O'Brien, he likes you, right, Paul?
Yeah, Paul, you do it.
Maybe we get
I
Bill
like Bill.
O'Brien on it.
That'd
Hey,
be
Evan,
great.
I'd like to have a once a week meeting with you
Just to
prior
see what
to
you're
the game.
thinking. Just see what's going on in that big brain of yours, that big football brain of yours, Evan. What do you got?
See
for us?
that?
Wait,
that
who-
is stuff that we could have fun with if we could have fun with stuff.
Wait, could we get someone to text Evan that he doesn't have their phone number and pretend like he's Bill?
No, I think we could get Bill O'Brien
The
to do
actual
it.
real-
No, I think
Okay.
Bill would do it if
real
we
Bill
could
O'Brien.
talk to him.
Yeah.
I'm
That's so
certainly
funny.
not going to do that in a press
I
conference.
have his number.
Or just throw the question back at him, like wait till Evan asks him a question during assistant coaches, and they'll be like, "Actually, I got a question for you. What would you do if the mics,
Right. Yeah.
going to like a real football question?"
Yeah. Anyway, we're having fun with
We're
it.
having fun.
But more
Jokes.
importantly,
A lot of jokes,
Words.
we are just days away from the kickoff. NFL kickoff is tonight.
Tonight.
Kansas City
Tonight.
and the Lions. But our kickoff is Sunday at 4:25. Weather is iffy at this point. The
Yeah.
percentages keep going up a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah?
In terms
Rainy?
of rain and maybe some lightning.
Ah.
About 30-40%
That would be a
chance right
buzzkill.
now.
Lightning
Yeah.
would be a buzzkill.
Yeah.
It would.
Yeah.
Like shut the game down.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
get, like,
rain
going-
is rain. They play in rain. It'll be warm. Who cares? But if you get the lightning, then you got to clear the stands. You got to.
Oh, God.
There's like a mandatory
Are we really doing this?
40-minute or whatever it is delay that you have to do before the lightning is out of the area.
What if Belichick just says, no, we're playing?
He can't?
Well, what if he does?
Well,
There's a lot of things he can't do.
I know,
that he
Most
does.
importantly,
the other team would have to agree to it too.
Most importantly, this really affects my game day outfit.
Oh yeah,
It really does.
yeah. I would wear a hefty bag. Just put like a big poncho on.
Mike,
you
just
know?
so
I
you
don't
know,
know. I'm not feeling too bad about it.
Uh,
I checked the.
Fred
yeah.
is upping his game on Picks Day. First
Oh.
Picks Day of the season. Fred's brought it today.
Yeah.
Oh crud! I didn't even print my thing this
No,
time. I
no,
don't
he's.
even know what
I'm just
doing.
saying in general, he's got his A game.
Suddenly
going
he got a
today.
feel for the
It's
league
very
over the last
funny.
2 days.
Oh.
He's quick-witted today. He's
No.
on it.
I
He's on his
was
game
thinking
today.
about today. First of all, I don't even know who's playing who this week, so I have done no preparation.
But that makes sense because it doesn't matter
Doesn't
how much
matter.
It
prep
really
you do
doesn't.
in this week one. Week
Yeah.
one and week two for different reasons.
throw
I
it
think.
out. Throw the
Week
records
one, you
out.
don't really know exactly what you're going to expect, and then week two, everything you saw in week one that you thought might have given you some indication was
Right.
like,
Then it'll come back.
half of
to
it
the
was a fluke.
Regress to
Right.
the mean.
right.
right. So it's quite.
Well, they're not going to be good this year. Then they went 58 to nothing.
Oh, the Jets completely imploded, and then week two they could just turn it around. You know, so
It's tough.
it is tough.
It's like the Patriots
Very
could
tough.
lose 31
Which
to
makes
nothing
my
to the
performance
Bills.
last year all that more impressive.
Yeah, but I'm going to be really curious to see what the spreads are of these games.
Yeah.
What do the sharps know?
I
Are
s-
they chalking games? Are they floating games? Or are they fading games?
I think you need to stop watching and listening to those shows
Why?
because I don't think you're really, I don't think you're grasping what things mean.
That's part of the joke. That's a shtick.
The
That's called
hoof.
shtick.
The hoof.
I told you he brought it today. He's
Yeah.
got it.
All right,
He's got
I'm
it
ready.
going today.
Yeah. All right, but that'll be at the end of the show.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Yeah.
Gotta hurry.
Well,
Al,
hurry for
I noticed Alex hasn't come down. She's not.
She said she was going to, and I don't know. I mean, we gotta figure out a rotation of some sort. I don't know what practice is or who's
Yeah.
where.
Are they out at practice now?
Not yet. I thought it was like closer to 1. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least
I think we're
the
probably
stuff to the important people.
Probably
Yeah.
still waiting on Juwan Bentley, or did he finally come? Because that's why I ended up leaving, because it was taking too long.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be what they're waiting for right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we'll see. We'll just make do. The four
So
of us.
we do have a very minor amount of news with the first practice participation report of
Yeah.
the season out yesterday. And I don't think it was a great one. It's not terrible. Not terrible, as Charles Barkley
I didn't
might
like
say.
it.
It's just
I didn't
not a-
like it. I
it's
think I
just-
know what you're gonna say,
it's
and I
just
didn't like
not
that.
good.
I didn't like that part of it.
No.
The first name.
You're talking about Trent Brown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Illness. Now
he was in the locker room yesterday, and then Reese tweeted something like it was heat exhaustion maybe during practice.
Which either way, it's not good.
No. Well, that's especially not good. Like if he had dealing with a cold or something, the game's not until Sunday. If it's heat related, it's going to be muggy at the very least on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right?
We talked about, the rotation that they possibly could have at offensive line.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping he would be one of the guys that didn't have to rotate.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the...
Well, not much anyway.
I will say I've seen a lot of Pedialyte and, extra large jugs of water going around the locker
hell
room.
yeah. I mean, they should. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Especially with the humidity that we've been dealing with, and people might not know outside of our region. It's been, I would say, unseasonably hot. Not warm, hot. It's been in the 90s the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Which
and
for early September, it's still hot in September, but not like this. It's been very humid and in the 90s to the point where I'm embarrassed to say some schools have curtailed their school day and in some cases eliminated it altogether. I don't know how you deal with life.
That. Yeah, it's not that hot.
I'm proud to say that my kids will be.
They're going to brave it out. They're going to
tough it out.
My kids got canceled. There's no AC in the school.
There's no AC in any schools.
So
Wait,
what?
Put on a T-shirt.
Don't you want the kids to learn? If they're that's why people are stupid nowadays, because we sat there in hot classrooms melting.
But you're in the
I think
shade.
they're stupid because they don't go to school.
It's not like you're out in the sun's beating down on you.
Wait. You guys don't have AC in your school? Or are y'all joking?
Some of them.
Back in the day?
No, I mean now.
No,
I don't know. I don't
go
go
to
to
schools.
school
Don't have AC.
My kid's school was canceled today. No AC.
Absolutely
No, not up here.
Most schools don't have
because
AC.
it's only really an issue for September. There's never really a heat issue.
Maybe that's a New England
California, they start in August.
In terms of extreme heat, this isn't that hot.
No, I watched it on the news this morning, and I was walking out, and I'm like, it's not even that hot. I don't get it. Felt like Capello. What are you doing?
Oh, I mean, we could definitely do 15 minutes on a Capello rant.
So let me ask you a question. When you went to grade school, what kind of windows were they?
There were those big ones that you could open just at the bottom. You could kind of pop it open at the bottom. But that was about it.
Ours were you crank, and they'd come out like this. So there was one time Sister Berkman made this girl who was chewing bubble gum.
Tell them to stop that.
She made her stick her head out the window for the whole class, and she had to maneuver over the window and then get her head somehow out of there. It was like some type of medieval torture.
It was such a better time.
Like the teacher. What's that teacher's name in Matilda? That's what she sounds like.
Oh, she was terrible. She would hit us.
I only know Mr. Hand.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Aloha, Mr. Hand. It was such a better time when you could do that.
Well, I had a Spanish teacher named Mr. Core who used to take an aerosol bottle of Lysol and spray a paper towel, and then he put it on the thermostat, and then his room would be ungodly hot. That was his chemical method to increase the heat in his room. He was this little old Spanish teacher guy. Hottest room in the world.
That doesn't
it's
seem
probably
so
hotter today. No, they probably would have canceled his class today.
Anyway, so Trent Brown. We don't know what the illness is. We're only speculating, but whatever it is,
some football.
If he's limited,
I at this point I'm just good luck. I don't know. It felt wrong this summer when you're saying well, we gotta you had to count on Trent Brown being the guy. At the very least, we need him to be out there and to play. I don't think anyone's expecting him not to false start maybe once or twice, but he needs to be out there for and if you don't have him, then I don't know who the other tackles are this week, unless you're new guys or rookies.
Because I think you're looking at a 3-man rotation of some sort of Brown, Anderson, and So.
Yeah.
But I was kind of looking at Anderson. You can't ask him to go wire to wire, but maybe they it can be one series on, one series off, and then they rotate, but I don't know which ones of those guys they feel best about playing both sides.
But I even think you need to give Andrews a blow here and there, at center.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you could be right, but I think this is, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes full.
I mean, you're not going to stick Jake Andrews out there.
Jake Andrews didn't earn any reps, I'll tell you that. The other two did. Mafi,
Mafi
to me has been the best of the three,
yep.
And I could definitely see him. And I saw, who did I read today? One of the things in clips I read today opened up the possibility that he could start at left guard for Strange if they think that Strange isn't ready, and sort of ease him in a little bit. Saying Strange will play, but maybe Mafi will get the start because they were happy with him.
Yeah. So as we do every year, on Thursday, Mike sends his roundup, and
Yeah.
we all give answers to his questions. And
Misspelling too. I didn't even realize
She
it.
catches an
And
embarrassing
You're an
typo.
idiot.
I didn't see what everybody else said.
I
but-
did not see the typo.
Yeah, I didn't see I didn't
called
see
him a
everybody
dummy.
else's answers, but obviously the biggest concern going in has to be offensive line.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I definitely
For
read
everybody.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, depth in general, but specifically in the offensive line.
Yeah.
And I'll say too on the injury report, I didn't love knee for Devontae Parker. I was hoping hamstring or like just a soft tissue injury, like Evan said, but I don't know. That's not good. Have a knee injury, knee issue.
Yeah,
week one.
I mean, to get open in the NFL, there's two things. You have to either be blazing fast or be able to be quick, and that means cutting. And if you have a bad knee,
Well, he's like 3. He's just really big. He can jump up over.
okay,
guys.
one-on-ones, yeah, 50-50s, but that's not necessarily getting open.
Right. Well, it's
You
not
know?
going to help him. It's not going to help him. So I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, again, it's just kind of issues that you've been kind of concerned about, but have been under the surface, such as Trent Brown's reliability, Devontae Parker's health. Those were issues for the team last year, and don't like getting a reminder of them the Wednesday before the first game. You know?
Yeah.
And Jack Jones was also on that list, right?
Yeah, he was.
You know, it's funny, like, again, I'm working on my computer yesterday, and all of a sudden that participation report pops up. It's like, oh, yeah, I forgot about those.
Here it
Fred
is.
was all excited.
First one of the season.
Look at that. Look
Yeah.
at that. Illness.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But he walked through the locker room yesterday, so I mean.
Yeah, so it can't be COVID.
Yeah.
If it was COVID, he wouldn't be in the locker room,
Right.
you know.
But it's just weird, like, I guess that you would.
Yeah, he wouldn't be limited with COVID.
Like you would have had heat stroke
Yeah,
or
he'd
something.
be
Like he
out.
just got hot and had to stop practice, so they had to like limit him a little bit.
Could be.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, he's from Texas. He should be used to this heat. It's really
He
hot
should
there.
be, but when you're 300 and some odd pounds, it's hot as hot.
Good thing they didn't go to Tennessee.
Yeah.
That would have been hot too.
How about that flight where the guy had the diarrhea? Did you see that?
I
Like-
saw
I
the
saw it. I didn't smell it though. Thank God.
I saw the video, like the aftermath
Oh my
video, and I
God.
was just like, you just have to throw the whole plane away at this point. Like,
Yeah.
you
Was
can't
that just
keep
in
it.
one seat or was it?
No.
Like up, it was up the aisle.
Noah.
Up the aisle.
The whole
wow.
aisle. The
Like
whole
all
aisle.
down the aisle. It was unbelievable. Like
So
this-
I haven't seen
feel
the video.
sorry for the guy.
I don't need
You
to
know,
see the
obviously he
video.
couldn't help himself, but man.
I would hate to have had the aisle seat. I would have hated to have been a flight attendant. I would just hate to be on the plane, period.
Oh,
Well, that never comes to mind when I think about like annoying things that might happen in a flight,
Yeah.
like delays, like big turbulence
Right.
drops, something like that. Like diarrhea. Now that one's gonna be like I'm gonna be like, well, it could be diarrhea. That I think it's gonna make me feel better about flying
Yeah.
because I'll be like, well, at least nobody had diarrhea all over the plane.
yeah. So,
You have
Really?
to throw the whole plane away. I'm sorry.
yeah, that's it.
Cleaning it wouldn't. It just wouldn't do it for me.
Just blow it up. Yep.
Or maybe, they give, I don't know, what airline was it?
Delta.
Delta. Maybe they give discounts if you fly the diarrhea plane,
Are the Patriots in the market for a new plane? Maybe they could get
Ah.
a discount on that one.
And it's crazy because I'm a Delta girly, but now I'm going to be paranoid every time I get on a Delta flight, thinking like, what if I'm on the plane that he was on?
Right.
It's just
The
scary.
consensus was Delta's the best. Is that true?
It is the best.
Yeah, that's what I've been
Hands down,
talking
10
to
out of
people.
10.
That's what they say.
It's not a high bar these days.
It's like Monty Brewster. None of the above. They all
I-
stink.
It's
I will take a Delta flight with a connection over a direct flight on insert airline here.
Really?
I will take Delta.
Okay. All right.
I've always liked JetBlue too, but people were saying
I
Delta
just like
was
it
their
at Logan.
favorite.
They have their own terminal.
Yeah, I generally go JetBlue, but they all stink. They
It's
all.
just- you're rolling the dice, no matter what. The
They're all
airline is, I
ridiculously
feel like.
overpriced and never on time.
Yep.
Mostly canceled.
And they play shenanigans now with you, and I won't get into details, but
yeah, if the
Yeah.
flight's half booked, they cancel the flight.
yeah, with you on the plane.
And they just-
that happened.
And you just get off.
Yeah,
and wait for another one.
They had to put us on another plane. They said, "Oh, it was, mechanical." No, it wasn't. There's 20 people on this flight. You don't want to fly.
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Well, that was our flight with no socks when we went to Arizona. We were like, I was at the airport for 12 hours. They never told us what happened. They just kept moving the flight until
Yeah.
finally,
So we
I
fill
felt
it
like
up.
10 hours later,
Yeah.
it was ready to go.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, people are like, "Will you please talk?
A lot of
Where's
di-
Evan?"
lot of
I feel like we've been
digressions.
talking about the Eagles for like 2 months, though.
Yeah.
You
We
know?
have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the hay's in the barn, right? We're just ready to
Well,
see what happens.
tomorrow.
Roll them out there. Now that's when the hay will be in the barn.
That's when the hay
after
will be in the barn.
practice. But
when-
for us,
when Bill talks tomorrow, well, the hay's in the barn.
But it will be fascinating to see
Fascinating.
more, really in the first half what the game plan is, because as we know, you get hit in the face and then the plan goes out the window. But how they start off, how do they, scheme that first quarter?
Yeah.
You know.
Do you kind of? I mean, just talk about the weather a little bit. Do you feel? I kind of feel like it's worse for the Patriots. Like with all the running options that the Eagles have, and the willingness of their quarterback to run the ball, and
well,
I don't know.
Are we getting a storm?
It could really,
or is it going to be raining?
I think it's going to be raining like all weekend.
Yeah, it could be a storm. It could be thunder and lightning.
No, but like wind, I'm talking about. Because rain, especially like you said, at this time of year, it's like 80-degree rain. That I don't think that impacts the game at all.
It's refreshing.
Yeah.
But if it's windy and rainy, now you're talking about different elements of the passing game that are affected.
Yeah, I didn't hear about high winds.
I haven't really paid attention. That's why I asked you guys.
Yeah,
I'm not on the weather apps like you guys are.
Neither am I really.
But the thing about these
you old folk that are on the weather apps
high
all the time.
humidity storms, these are the kind of one in Florida. They just pop up.
Right.
So you'll be looking at the radar and you're like, oh, there's nothing there, and then 10 minutes later something just pops up, and then it torrential rain for like 5 minutes, and then it stops.
It's that kind of humidity.
Now you guys have me worried, so
I
need to check.
think meteorologists have the best job in the world. Like, it's all guessing.
Right. You can be wrong.
Exactly.
And
you
You
can be
think
wrong,
it's
you
sick
can
of
be
it?
right.
Like every
it's
day, you're
just
just like, today it's going to be cloudy. Today it's going to be like they get all excited when it's like a tornado or something. They get to like talk about like a major weather event. It's
they
they go, let's have to talk about the pressure.
All right. 855-PATS-500 is the Ace Ticket Hotline. Web radio at patriots.com is the email address. I suppose we should get right to it with our listeners, seeing as how we're going to have to do picks later in the show. That cuts off their chances to talk while we're doing that. So we'll go to Todd in North Carolina. What's up, Todd?
So I watched your marvelous Mr. Evan with Mr. Kyles talking about how to play defense against the Philadelphia Eagles, and he basically stated that you have to be fairly aggressive. You have to come up and not let the play develop in front of you. You have to dictate what they're doing, and I don't think we've really done that on defense since Brian Flores, to be honest. So I'm a little worried about, how this defense is going to react. I don't want them sitting back and letting the play develop, because I think that's what they're going to do.
I'll push back on that a little bit. I think last year they were aggressive, and I think it was reflected in the pressures that they got. The problem is they didn't always finish.
Yeah.
They got back there and they flashed, but when things broke down, sometimes they just couldn't finish the job. That's what they need to do. And to me, it's just about speed. It's not enough for Keon White to show himself back there. He's got to finish it, or at least drive the quarterback or whoever it is into the hands of somebody else. You just got to finish. I think they've been aggressive.
What's Hurts like when he's under pressure? Like, what is his quarterback rating under pressure? I know Evan's not there yet. But
who Hurts? It goes down.
Everybody's goes down.
Yeah, it goes down when he's off platform, not by design. I heard it goes down to like 23%. But like Paul said,
I don't. When he's rolling out, you said.
No, I said when he's not in the pocket and he's being pressured.
Oh,
when he's being pressured.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just out of curiosity, what was the number of those?
I don't know,
because I thought it was just rolling out, which I thought that sounded like a low number to me.
No, that's
said that on Tuesday.
not by design, but when he's being hurried.
Right. So was he hurried 10 times and had 8 bad passes?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Small sample size.
Really good offensive line.
Yeah.
Like, I'm being serious here. Like, it's a really good offensive line. How many times was he forced to throw on the run?
I'm sure there's a stat that has that that reflects throwing while off platform and being pressured.
Yeah.
And if not, some site will make it up.
Yeah.
I mean,
there was something in some stats today.
Thanks, Todd.
Like, how would you envision coverage for the Patriots last year in terms of defensive pass coverage, man or zone?
Mostly man, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm wrong.
I think the numbers back that up too.
Oh, the numbers definitely back it up.
Yeah.
I think it's wrong.
But I
don't
also
think they played a lot of man last year.
But I also think that there's a whole world that me and Evan have been talking about all offseason, which is man match coverage, and that is, I'm like, does anyone actually know? Like, anyone actually watching the game?
That would be my point.
Nobody knows, because all these sites that are saying, oh, we have the zone man splits. I don't know if there's any way to really tell when you're in man match zone, because it's going to start out looking like zone and then it's going to go to man. And so and this is one of the things I got to talk to Pellegrino about it. Not so much to write about it, but just to be like,
he
look,
really is aiming for that defensive coordinator. Yeah.
Like, talk to me, Goose. But this is a question I have. I'm like, realistically, how often are you guys just like in straight zone coverage? How often are you just in straight man coverage?
I would bet that the numbers do not back up the numbers that are published. I think you explained that really well in terms of not really identifying zone and man as easily as people do. I remember sitting there last year for large stretches of the season saying, why are they never in man, especially on third down? And I saw numbers today that we got in one of those packets that had them like top 5 or 6 in the league in man coverage. Like
some of these,
I guess I'm wrong.
Some of these outlets, all they do is, guy goes in motion, somebody goes with him. Up there in man. That's not the case.
Well, sometimes it is. But
it is sometimes, but not always.
I think the way Mike talked about, like, and I say this all the time, just because you're in zone doesn't mean there's nobody responsible for the receivers.
Right.
It's man within your zone.
Right.
So I think a lot of times it can be perceived as man no matter what.
And even
there's man zone.
And even explicitly. This is actually man coverage. It's not just because he was in my zone, I was with him. It's we let the routes disperse, and then we each go to a guy, and then it's man. And, I think, I'd love to hear the answer from Pellegrino. I'll ask him next time. But just for some general insight, because those numbers just seem so clean, and I watch this stuff, and it's like, how could you tell?
Those numbers really, they opened my eyes today when I looked at that. I wasn't expecting that.
So according to ESPN, without pressure, Hurts has an 82.4 QBR, which ranks second in the NFL. With pressure, Hurts drops to 25.5 in QBR.
Just pressure him every time.
Which is what?
Pressure him every time.
He's second in the league without pressure. What is he with pressure? 12.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty good.
That is still pretty good.
It's like pretty good.
That's
my point. Like, you can't go by the percentage.
There's no answer in this
right.
question.
It's top half.
There's no
right.
Yeah. And then
what,
it says
what quarterback doesn't
Mac Jones
drop?
was in the 30s.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's the degree of how much you fall. But I mean,
it's all relative.
Every team wants to get pressure every snap. Like, it's not like you're like, well, let's not pressure him on this one. Like, I don't know.
What defines
I just don't read
pressure? What defines pressure?
Like, does he have to get out of the pocket?
It's
one of those things that it's been one of the best things to happen in sports and one of the worst things all at once. Just the advent of all of these metrics.
Is statistically broken down.
It's great because it allows you to sort of validate what you see in a lot of cases. But at the same time, I think it's sort of sketchy.
Yeah, it is. And that's kind of one of the beauties of football is, it's not all cut and dry like baseball, or some of the other sports. Like, you don't know if the guard next to the tackle did something to make the tackle look bad, and now on paper the tackle gets a bad grade.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of
that happened in the opener last year.
There's all kinds of instances like that all over the field. Quarterback is an incompletion. Well, that's because the receiver rounded out his route, but you don't know.
Yeah, and that's why every bit of statistics that you read, there's bias in it of who was watching it. Like, who was this PFF analyst who graded this game, and did they grade it off the TV copy? They're grading safety play off the TV copy. Like that's
No, all 22. Come on, all 22 copy.
But I would believe it if those things didn't come out 3 hours after the game. That there's no way they had the all 22.
Right.
So
those numbers,
I mean, sometimes
the stats for PFF come out.
I don't know what the
immediately
current
after the game.
They're pretty quick. I mean, within 24 hours. Put it this way: they would get those out before we would have access via Game Pass in the past to get the all 22 film, which is fine. But it's just and you also don't know this guy's a huge fan of the other team, and he's going to give his guys a little bit benefit of the doubt.
There's a lot of that.
Or so. I just think that's why you have to watch it yourself. You come away with your own opinions, and then we can talk about it. But to talk about, well, what's this stat, and does that tell us how they can do it? Like, not really. I mean, Jalen Hurts can be worse under pressure. Great.
Yeah. No, the bottom line is you want to get pressure because you don't want to let anybody just get comfortable.
But I agree with the general point of the aggressiveness. I don't agree with the point that they haven't been as aggressive. I don't think they went back to Matt Patricia. I think under Steve.
No, but don't you think they were aggressive last?
I
think they do a lot of. I don't think they blitz a ton, but I think they do a lot of different things to generate pressure. I don't think it's necessarily aggressive.
And to free guys up, and
they try to trick people. With their pressure.
Right. I think Flores was a little bit more. Maybe it just got more attention with all the zero blitz stuff because that's it's like, oh my God, here they all come and there's no one deep and it's just one. It's kind of exciting when those plays happen, but they still throw those out there. I think they're more spin the dial, but I wouldn't say that they're what they were in the 2010s of three-man rush team primarily. And
I think they sent safeties. I think that you saw corners go in. I think they've been a little bit more aggressive.
They were this summer.
Yeah.
I mean, they were sending Mills on blitzes. They were sending Jack
They
Jones
certainly-
on
they
blitzes.
certainly
I mean,
did.
they were messing with that stuff even going back to the spring where we're like,
Sure.
how can the offense do anything when you're sending all these
to the
this
point
bread?
where it was bothering
Yeah.
the offense,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
even at practice.
Yep.
You know,
Right.
we heard comments off the field
Mm-hmm.
during practices.
That's right. Let's go to John in Louisiana, who's become a regular caller. What's up, John?
Appreciate you taking my call. What's up, y'all?
Hey, John.
Hey.
Hi.
So two things. First, Mike, I agree with you with the advanced stats. That's kind of like what's ruining NBA basketball too, all these advanced stats. So I'm with you on that. But my question is about Christian Gonzalez. We drafted him in the first round for a game like this to guard the A.J. Brown. It seems like everybody's just so worried to put him out there now. Like, what's the deal?
Well, yeah, we're worried because he's a rookie, and like he could turn into be a great cornerback, but this is his first game.
Right.
In a real game with extended snaps, and it's expecting a lot to have him be able to shut down either one of those wide receivers that Eagles have on the outside.
Yeah, especially the physicality with Brown. That's that's a tough one for him. But hey, he's going to be out there, and I think he'll
He's
compete
going to
hard.
be out there,
Yeah.
absolutely, and he's going to have, I think, some help over the top.
Yeah,
I
oh,
just
I
can't
hope
imagine
so.
you put him on an island.
Yeah.
It's tough. It goes up to those.
I mean, I think
contested
that
balls.
philosophy is the same with all teams, but certainly with the Patriots. Just don't give up the big play on defense. Make them earn it. Make them matriculate down the field. Don't give it up in one play. And I think that's going to continue this season. I can't imagine they're going to, stop with that type of philosophy.
You don't want to give up the big plays, but I do, getting back to the stuff that we've been talking about with coming forward, getting aggressive defensively. I think the Patriots have often just said, make them do the 10, 12 play. Offenses do that routinely now. Even offenses do that routinely. So I just wonder is it harder to complete that one bomb or have the 12-play drive? And I think you can make a good argument either way now.
Yeah.
You're going to cover him. You're not going to just say that guy's uncovered. You're going to say you can't complete it 40 yards downfield. No, you're going to be there contesting it and doing what you can.
And get a flag thrown.
Well, yeah,
but
absolutely, Fred. You run the risk of that always.
And I mean, I think to echo what Evan and I have been saying this week is, I remember when they'd go against those good offenses of Peyton Manning or, they come up with a new twist against good offenses. Like, I get it. You're going to play a crappy team. You've got the greatest quarterback in the league. You're just going to sit back and be
against
like,
the
they're
Colts
screw up
last year,
over the-
make Sam Ehlinger put together 12-play drives. He's not going to do it.
But we did see at certain select times when it felt like this is a team that we're going to go head-to-head with. We got to have a little something in the bag this week. And I think, what Evan said yesterday, what I said the earlier show, they got to have a little something defensively in the bag. Some, and it might not even just be the twists. It's just they got to come out and play really well. And like a team that is motivated to kind of get over the hump and show, that's what I want to see against this offense. They're too good. You can't just go back there and sit and rush three and, assume that they're going to make mistakes. They're not going to make them.
And you're going to give up a big play here and there. It's just going to happen. Something's
Just
going
don't
to
let them
break
score.
down.
Just don't let it score.
Hurts is going to
don't let it be
run.
a scoring
Hurts
play.
is going to get a big. He's going to get at least
100%,
one big
100%.
running
The
play.
question would be, do the big plays, are they more frequent than they were last year with McCourty gone?
Yeah, and it's a great question.
Yeah.
That's a huge one. I mean, I know Evan wrote that piece about talking to Devin about the safeties, and he was joking that Bill, when he moved him back to safety, was just like, get back. That's the big thing with that free safety. Just don't get beat deep.
GTFB.
Yeah.
Perfect. Don't say that.
Anything else, John?
Yeah, when y'all talk about A.J. Brown physical, like him being physical, y'all talking route running or after the catch?
Everything.
I think route running, Christian can run with
A.J.
him
Brown.
almost anywhere with any route, if I'm being honest.
I think you can
Thanks,
run with
John.
him. I think you can run with him. It's just, when the ball's coming.
I mean, he's a guy who averaged 18 yards a catch last year. I mean, this is a big play guy and a big volume guy. He's a load.
I just wonder how much if they'll try
17 yards.
Like, how much they might want to keep, because I don't think Devontae Smith is too. I think he's obviously a great player, but would they consider maybe sticking Jonathan Jones on AJ Brown, or are they going to flip him, or are they?
I would think that that's what they would do. Now, Evan didn't think that they would match up like that. I think they I don't want Christian Gonzalez covering Devontae Smith. I don't think that's a great matchup.
I think you're going to have to. I think Marcus Jones could be in there doubling Devontae Smith. Not one-on-one, but doubling him, and he's one of the the doubles.
Yeah.
Because of his speed.
I worry about that.
I mean, it's not going to make you feel better, but I kind of lean more towards Miles Bryant just with his experience. And I know, some people have PTSD with him, but he can play safety. He can play in the slot. He can do a lot of stuff. I think he'll play significant snaps. Probably. I really don't know what to expect from Marcus Jones at corner this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I don't want to see him one-on-one, but
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
But how much you need a slot receiver that's a slot corner, like I understand what you're saying.
For Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Devontae Smith. I understand what Fred's talking about. I just don't think Marcus Jones has demonstrated any real ability to do that.
Oh yeah.
Jonathan Jones has. Jonathan Jones has done it to Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Yep. So Jonathan Jones. Now I'm not telling you he's going to take Devontae Smith out by himself. Just like with Tyreek Hill, it's Jonathan Jones with help over the top.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think that both of those guys are worth. They don't have a ton of depth at wide receiver. They still have Goddard. But I think you can devote some extra bodies to both of those guys.
I'd say Bryant is the over-the-top guy.
Bryant, I would feel better, believe it or not, with Bryant than Marcus Jones.
Yeah.
Cheryl's in Walpole. What's up? she
Walpole, come
couldn't
on.
hang
That's what
on.
happens when we get
local.
female callers.
Well,
Ow.
They don't like us.
Or people work.
They just don't like us.
People
Freddie.
at work and the boss walks by. You gotta hang
that's
up.
true too. You got to be on the down low.
Christian in Connecticut. What's up, Christian?
Hey guys, first time, long time, big fan. I just want to formally or verbally sign my petition to get Deuce to get the waxing done.
Yeah.
My question is, what second or third year player are you expecting the biggest jump from this year?
Second
or
third
year player.
Cole Strange.
I mean, I'd love for him to. I'm not really. I guess I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens. I'm not really expecting it.
Year player.
Onwenu. I mean, I don't know how much more of a jump he could make, but I think just playing well, Onwenu would.
Fourth year.
Fourth
right?
year. Dang it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good one.
I'm hoping it.
You have to say Mac Jones.
Well, yeah.
Third year.
It better be.
It's got to be Mac Jones.
But other than Mac Jones, don't you think your first round guard better have a good year?
I know. I'm trying not to put that expectation on him right now, but you're 100% right. You're 100% right. I mean,
isn't that kind of what you
You
thought
can't
about
afford
Isaiah
not
Wynn?
to.
No.
Who's Miami
You
starting
didn't think
guard?
Isaiah Wynn would be like one of those guys?
He's going to be an
all-pro guard.
All-pro guard for Miami now.
He's going to be an all-pro guard for Miami. He got the nod. According to Mike Giardi, he's going to be starting at guard.
If he gets all-pro, not Pro Bowl, I don't care about.
We're going to have to owe Fred
all-pro
lunch for 2 years.
Fred's going to be insufferable.
What do you think, Christian?
I'm really hoping. I mean, other than Mac, obviously, I think Cole Strange definitely. He's a first-round pick, so you'd kind of expect him to play like one.
Yep.
So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the call. Don't be a stranger.
He's right.
I got
to be harder on him.
Yeah, I don't know if it's there.
Yeah. Donnie's in Pittsburgh. What's up, Donnie? Donnie Pittsburgh.
Hey, thanks for taking the call again.
Donnie Shell.
Deuce, very relatable entrance to the show today with that water bottle spill there.
Thank you.
Just on the theme of NFL opening day today, guys, I've been hearing, from talking heads around the media, this team's going to regress, Bengals, Bills, Chiefs. Rather than those rosters regressing, do you guys think that enough time has passed in this mobile quarterback era that teams and GMs around the league have adjusted the defensive playbooks and personnel enough that life is going to be difficult for a lot of those guys this season?
I don't know.
Not as long as they're healthy.
I just think it's an inevitable advantage when you have a quarterback that can run. It's just there's an extra gap. It's just the geometry of football. It makes it harder.
And it's dual threat guys we're talking about, not just runners.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I think as long as they're healthy, I think that's the big fear is that you can't keep those guys consistently healthy year to year. That's what Baltimore is rolling the dice on with Lamar. Like, can he play 17 games, which he hasn't done the last 2 years?
Yep. I mean, even looking at Kyler Murray, it's like,
but they don't get shut down.
him?
No.
You have to get to him quick, The
ones that can run and throw do not get shut down consistently.
Nope. It's a tough.
There's just no easy answer. And I mean, it's like, spend all week of like, what should the defense play? Like, you have to just play better than them. It doesn't really matter what you play. You just have to dominate the line of scrimmage and beat their guys and get in there and cause disruption. It doesn't matter if you're playing zone or man behind it. It's about the guys up front that, can disrupt what they do.
Pressure.
Yep.
Make them uncomfortable.
Thanks, Donnie. Let's go to Eldred in North Carolina. Hey, Eldred.
Hey, fellas, ladies, how y'all doing today?
All right. How you doing?
Question is Keon White, is he a defensive tackle or a defensive end?
I think he's both.
Yeah.
How do they use him?
I think he's an end in the Seymour type of, three-man alignment type end. I don't think he's a pure defensive end like Chandler Jones. But,
I would agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he can be an interior guy in sub-packages.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I'm just curious how his power translates, especially against a really good NFL line. I mean, that's, I think, kind of the knock on him. Not a lot of versatility in his pass rush. He just kind of runs into the guy and he overpowers some guys. He's not going to overpower Eagles, the Eagles' offensive line. So, but I think he can do a lot. Yeah, they tried him standing up in the spring a little bit, and then seemed like he was back at defensive end in the summer.
Yep.
Yeah, but getting back to Gonzalez, we got to take our lumps. Like I said, he's a rookie, and if AJ is his assignment, give it to him just like Sauce had to last year.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it to him and let him fall or fail.
Yep. He's going to have to take his lumps and have a short memory.
You got to take it.
Right.
Yep.
And keep going. All right, thank y'all.
All right, thanks, Elvin.
Thanks, E. Yeah, I would just caution, like Sauce did it. Patrick Surtain did it. How did Derek Stingley do? Just taking a little while. Now, he's a good player, but they don't all come in immediately and get that number one assignment and just dominate. It's hard for a lot of guys.
Especially Gonzalez, 21. He looks young too. I think he's got
he
a lot
looks young, so he can't cover AJ Brown. He looks too young.
Well, he's funny. I mean, he looks his age.
He looks like you.
just
You're
look
a young
at him.
guy.
You just look at him, and you're like, you're still a kid. But I think he's got enough athleticism that the learning curve won't be that crazy.
Yeah.
It's just he can stick with guys.
I'm
He'll be
really
there.
high. I'm really high on.
I just don't
Gonzalez.
see the out muscle for the ball when it's like when he's right there.
Yeah,
And
the
I
muscle.
hope I'm right about that.
Yeah.
The strength is a question, but the fluidity isn't. He looks really fluid out there.
Like Paul said, the other week was just the ability to recover. So he can make mistakes, but he's fast enough and quick enough that he can get almost back into position. So
that's
it'll
when you
cover
learn
up some
about
of the
guys
things.
when things go wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do they react? And I used to say this all the time. Like some young quarterbacks, like Peyton Manning, you used to watch. Even my guy, obviously I'm, not the most unbiased.
Wait, who's your guy?
Drew Bledsoe.
Okay.
Like in his rookie year, he had some games that just nothing was going right. But then at the end of the game, they'd go right down the field, and you'd be like, anybody can have a great game. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
Guys play well.
Yeah.
And then what do you do when you didn't play well for 3 quarters, but the game is still on the line? You have a chance to steal it with one drive. Can you put a drive together? And that's when you learn about some guys. And I think Gonzalez has had a little of that. Like, he would get beat, but it didn't matter. Like the next play was different. Or that play that we keep probably focusing on a little too much. He gets beat on a double move. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Got himself back in position to make a play.
Paul, that reminded me of what was it? Trevor Lawrence. Was it against the Chargers where he had like 5 or 6 picks, but then they came back to win? It's like
4 picks in the first half, and they win the game.
Short memory.
That's hard.
Yep.
I mean, harder than if you just blew them out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, the offensive coordinator.
Zampezi's here.
Evan is here. Wow. So did that take you by surprise when Mac said that?
No, not really.
Absolutely, yes, 100%. I don't like it.
No,
no, I'm not.
I don't blame you.
I'm not like mad at him or anything, but I don't like the attention.
So were the other writers grumbling and grousing?
There was definitely some talk about it, some tweets.
Yeah.
Some tweets.
Okay.
Yeah.
But grousing?
All right.
No grousing.
Because you tell me who I need to address.
Not that you're aware.
Oh yeah, I'm sure now it's now that I'm not
Mike and
with
I,
them anymore.
Mike and I have free reign to do whatever we want. Anybody, you let us know what we have to get involved.
What if it was me grousing?
Well, we'd have to redress that.
Internal turmoil.
Only I get to grouse him.
Yeah.
So what news do you bring, Evan Lazar?
Can we play the jingle today?
Like to talk about the scheme, so.
That's so good.
There we go.
Evan has returned from practice. Evan has returned from practice. Yeah, Evan has returned from practice. What was the mood? Who wasn't there? What did he see?
All right, it was a scorcher out at Patriots practice today.
Scorcher.
Very hot out there. So I think that they're going to have a little bit of a shorter day, more of a Friday schedule, a little bit shorter practice. But the lone player missing from practice was cornerback Jack Jones. So Jack Jones is on the injury report yesterday with a hamstring injury. Obviously, we know what's going on this week with Jack Jones off the field as well. I don't want to speculate that it has anything to do with that, but got two possible reasons of why he wasn't out there, I suppose. And the hamstring
bet is off.
The hamstring injury is what popped up yesterday on the injury report. So maybe it's that. And other than that, everybody else was out there. No pads today. A lighter day. So we'll see what we get in the injury report later today. If
Parker moving.
He was out there. A lot of this practice seemed like it was going to be pretty light. So I wouldn't take away much of participation or anything, and we also got cut off pretty short. It was just stretching today.
I think the weather's pretty hot in Philly too, so
That's what they said.
We're on an even plane there.
Yeah, so it's I mean, look, I think that they're relatively healthy, what you would expect for week one. It would be problematic if you had guys that are already injured or something like that, but I think for the most part they're relatively healthy, and I would assume, and this is just me, I would assume that most of the guys are going to be out there. What capacity they play on Sunday and how much Onwenu and Strange play in the game, we'll see. But I would be pretty surprised if they were not dressed for the game.
Okay. All right. And media, were they still upset about the weather? Or?
No, not a lot of grousing about the weather. I think we all anticipated the weather and knew what we were getting ourselves into. We did wait a little bit longer today than yesterday to go out to practice, so we got to stay in the air conditioning for an extra couple minutes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yesterday we stood out there for about 20 minutes in 90 degrees, and people started to get cranky, naturally.
Led by Evan.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Are there a lot of new faces in the smaller media contingent for practices? Or is it
no, not really too many new faces. I mean, we know the Globe had some movement, so Chris Price is now back on the beat, and it's good to see him. Doug is here. Giardi's here full time now.
Who's Giardi working for?
Boston Sports Journal.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
He's writing.
So it's same faces, but just new places.
It's funny how it works like that,
they just shuffle the deck.
Yeah.
Okay, and the mood of the team, if you would.
I thought it was light.
If you would.
Light.
Light.
Yeah, I don't think that, like I said, Thursday is usually a pretty heavy third down red zone practice. Wednesday is usually a practice for the most part is more about us, right? Like, we're going to put the pads on and we're going to work on some things that we need to clean up. Then Thursday, Friday are the game plan heavy practices. So I'd assume today is going to be like a tempoed walkthrough of what are we going to do in this down and distance, this situation, that type of thing.
Okay. And coaches wearing heavy sweatshirts, a lot of them?
Oh, yeah.
Well, no coaches that I noticed wearing heavy sweatshirts, but the big boss was out there today in long sleeves and a long sleeve button down.
Oh, okay. Well, that's his uniform.
He was out there, and I'm talking about Mr. Kraft, of course, and he was talking to Bill Belichick for a little bit about something.
Okay.
They were chatting in the middle of the field as players were stretching around them as the brain trust right there on the 50-yard line. So that was interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
No sweatshirt from Bill? I should probably check the pictures.
Was it the red cutoff sweatshirt?
No,
I haven't seen that one.
No, I think he was wearing a T-shirt.
Poor Evan.
Not
about to look at practice.
He gets like 75 dumb questions from us.
I don't remember him
what
wearing
Belichick
a
was wearing.
No.
Here's a question that you probably also can't answer, which is also unfair. Jack Jones, going back before yesterday, had you noticed anything with him mobility-wise, that he was dealing with anything before yesterday?
No.
Did you notice him not moving well yesterday?
No.
In other words, what I'm saying is, did he pull a hamstring in practice yesterday?
So,
and that's why he was limited yesterday and not there today.
Yeah.
So purely conjecture on my part, that was my inclination or my feeling on it was that maybe something happened to him, because we were watching practice at the beginning of practice yesterday, and we got positional drills yesterday for access, and he was going through the drills just fine. He was moving great.
That would be my concern.
So
something happened yesterday, and that's why he wasn't there today.
Yeah, and I know Reese surmised that Trent Brown's illness that was on the injury report might have been due to the heat.
Yeah, which is not good.
So that was another guy that maybe had an issue in practice that wasn't previously.
Yeah. Hopefully he's removed from the list today, Trent Brown.
It's pretty hot though, Paul. I mean,
No, I know,
I
but
think it was
it's
hotter
going
today,
to be pretty hot on Sunday.
Get a
It might not
Pedialyte.
be as sunny.
Get
Yeah,
a Pedialyte.
get that Pedialyte.
Get a Pedialyte.
Get one of those
400
like
pounds.
necklace
Gotta
things
hydrate.
that like is a fan. Have you seen
Yeah.
those? Like
Oh,
that
yeah,
have
sure.
power?
Or have you
the-
seen
the
people
white-
get those like
the,
IVs, like those IVs that instantly hydrate you?
Really?
Just get
Yes.
them now.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm sure-
that's the post-hangover cure.
I'm
for
sure
the,
that they have the
for the
I-
college-age
the
kids.
But you got to
I
start.
may or may not be speaking from experience.
Okay.
You have to
with
start
a college-age
hydrating
kid.
now. You can't
Yeah.
wait until you got to start now to be ready for Sunday.
Yeah, Calvin Munson in Tennessee, because it was brutally hot in Tennessee for that preseason game. He said that he spent 3 days hydrating.
Yeah.
Like he was just drinking as much water as he possibly could for
He played a lot that
for
night,
3
too.
straight
Yeah.
days. Played a ton in the game, and then he said that he probably put on like 5 to 10 pounds of water weight by drinking, and just all of it just evaporated within like the first half of the game.
Trent Brown
I
is like
believe that.
100 pounds of water weight.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot of water weight.
Me too.
Zamir is in Maine. What's up, Zamir?
Hey, I have a
Question?
You have a
football question.
okay.
And I was talking to my wife the other day, and I was telling her about how I think it's hilarious when you guys accidentally swear on the show.
Yeah.
And how Deuce will drop an F-bomb, and a couple weeks ago how
No.
Paul said he was hauling stuff around. Do you guys get like fined? Or
No.
in trouble for swear? Do you
No.
get in trouble at all for swearing?
No, we're not
No.
subject to those rules, but it's a family show, and
Yeah,
we
we
just
do
want
work for the organization. We don't want
Yeah,
to
nothing happens, but it's just we try to regulate
I
ourselves.
totally understand. I totally understand. I didn't know if you guys get like in trouble.
No,
Like,
no.
Disclaimer at the start of the show.
Yep. We have a disclaimer.
Gotcha,
Yep. Okay.
That
All right.
was my first one.
Thanks,
in
Amir.
several years. I don't even remember
You
the
blew
last
through
one.
it. You didn't even realize.
I hope
No.
Samir's parachute comes out. Seems
That'd
like
be that would be unfortunate
Blaming
if we were.
Normandy, was it?
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Uh,
I'll be hearing from him no more.
webradio@patriots.com is the email address. John in the Poconos writes in. He says, this
The
year I'm
host with the
running
most in the
$1
Poconos.
on every one of Paul's over-under picks. No pressure, Paul, but I have twin babies who have grown accustomed to those diapers I've been providing.
Yeah, I would ignore my over-under picks because if you ask me the same questions multiple days, I'm probably going to give you different answers. I really don't give them a lot.
You won
of
last
thought.
year, though, right?
Oh, we're talking about on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do dominate in that
yeah.
regard.
Dom?
I have a feel for the league.
You think you got it this year?
I have a feel for the individual games.
How do you feel about tonight? Remember, it was kind of funny. We talked about Mahomes and Travis Kelce and all that stuff.
Yeah, now he's going to be without him. Well, probably.
It's all going to fall apart completely.
Chris in Colfax, California. So many people are quick to call for the Foxborough flu with rookies, but aside from running backs, I can't think of a scenario where that actually worked, where the player came off IR after their rookie season and actually contributed.
Actually contributed, or that happened in general? Because I can think of several examples of it happening in general, but turning out to be contributors,
these are two different things too. Like going from you're talking about like spending a year on IR because that's the Foxborough flu, right?
Okay.
Like going into the practice squad and then getting promoted is not the Foxborough flu.
Or does he mean like getting hurt and going on an IR? Like
if
Tyquan
Isaiah
Thornton?
Bolden next year
Yeah.
is like the third corner, that would be an example of a guy who got the Foxborough flu and contributed the next year.
Well,
or does
but
he
got
mean-
hurt.
No, I know that, but there's always something.
Yeah.
Yes, that's fair.
And I would agree with the premise of the email is I don't think most guys that are stashed on IR
Mhm.
with listen, I don't know what Isaiah Bolden's situation. My guess is he had a concussion.
Right.
And it was going to keep him out for at least the first part of the season.
Yeah.
Not the whole year. If it's the whole year, then he's got individually bigger problems with in terms of his career.
Right. They make that risk reward. Like, is it
Right.
worth holding the spot for him,
I don't know if these qualify, but I remember Juwan Bentley got hurt early in his rookie year and didn't really play.
But he started his first game.
So that doesn't count. Trey Flowers, another one. He got, I think, hurt in the preseason.
Yeah,
and
Trey.
never played it.
But Trey Flowers tore his ACL, didn't he? That was like a pretty severe
That's
injury.
what they said. I mean,
I don't.
So the only
I
one-
wouldn't. I have no recollection of that at all. But if that happened, that ain't the Foxborough
It was.
flu.
It might not have been an ACL,
But he
I
had a
remember
serious
that
injury.
being It's like a Bolden situation where it's like, okay, this guy's clearly hurt. Like it wasn't. The Foxborough flu to me is when like the guy pulls pulls a hammy in practice, and all of a sudden he's on season-ending injured
He's a
reserve.
young guy. We think he's worth spending a little extra time developing. We'll put him on IR.
Do you think
So was Hellenic? Go ahead.
Do you think Raekwon McMillan is being stashed?
No, he got
tore his
actually hurt.
ACL.
Oh, he did?
Or Achilles.
Achilles.
ACL last year, or 2 years
Was
ago.
Hellenic flu the origin of this? Because that's the Celtics.
Celtics used to do it.
And they used to practice at Hellenic College.
Yes.
And so they
He's
call
right.
it the Hellenic flu.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're right.
I thought it was like a
But
Greek.
was that
Greek
the
reference
origin
or something?
That's the first I had ever heard.
Yeah.
Like Helena Troy.
Hellenic College. Yeah.
It's a Greek school, obviously.
I don't know.
Oh no! So Trey Flowers didn't have. I think his ACL might have been in college. So he got a shoulder injury as a rookie, but just didn't play. Like he was in a healthy scratch. He didn't go on IR until December of his rookie season.
So he didn't play his rookie year.
Correct. He only played one game.
Wow.
Second,
these things they just like disappear out of my head.
I'm surprised.
I'm concerned.
If Bill retired after this season and Robert Kraft asked each of you to choose between Billy O and Gerard Mayo to take over as head coach, who would you choose and why?
And I can't pick a different option.
No.
I would pick Billy O because I'm more concerned about offense. I want an offensive coach.
Okay.
No disrespect to Mayo, who I absolutely love.
Yeah. I like both those guys. I think either one would be probably pretty good for us, but I'd probably go Billy
I
O
think
too.
either one of them would be good for us
Yeah.
individually.
Yeah.
As a show.
I definitely think Billy O too. Just it'd be great to have just a coach more focused on offense. But I think that it'd be nice to actually name a defensive coordinator as well.
I'd take Gerard just because his relation to the players, and you hopefully keep Billy O as that uber coordinator
Just let
that
him focus on the
that
offense.
Gerard doesn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
You know,
That's my concern. Is this is what happens with defensive-minded head coaches? Is that their offensive coordinators get poached, and then every 2 years you're changing offensive coordinators, and that's why a lot of teams
Why
hire
couldn't you
offensive
do
guys.
for all the reasons, which are all valid reasons you just had? But why couldn't you just do that the other way around? Why couldn't you want to keep Billy O and then have Mayo stay and keep all the defense intact and do with that relationship with the player and all that stuff?
I don't know. I just think I've seen Billy O as a head coach.
You anti-offensive.
Yeah, I just want to see what Gerard Mayo like. We're told he's like this great leader of men. All right, well let's see.
I think he might need a GM too. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
I think he would need. Extra
That would be my worry with Billy O, is that he'd want all the power like he had in Houston in the end, and you don't want that.
Then he gets mad at somebody, and all of a sudden the whole course of the franchise is altered.
Absolutely love him as an offensive coordinator, as you all know, but as a GM, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nick in Weymouth, Mass. Do you have any more information regarding the ribbon-cutting ceremony celebrating the completion of the renovations at Gillette Stadium? Is it open to the public? That's today.
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Is that open to the public?
I don't
think
believe
it's
it
just
is.
a media event.
Yeah. We'll have clips of it on Patriots.com, the highlights. It's just ceremonial.
You don't need to come to that.
No. Yeah. I think
suddenly Zampese is dictating what is worth.
Well, listen.
Always.
That's
not new. I tell you what's important, what's not.
Austin in North Carolina, he says, have you all had arguments or disagreements that carried on after the show?
No.
If so,
Not really.
what are some ways you resolve or make up? Or is there a
it's
mutual
never that
agreement
deep.
that happens on the show stays on the show?
It's almost comical. I mean, I'm only going to speak to you guys because you're the ones who get into it a lot. But, it's funny. It's literally you'll be yelling at each other at the show. Well, I'm like, that's a good show. We all walk back, smiles. There's never once been I've never once had carryover tension
I
from
think
a
with
show,
Andy
ever.
there might have been something. I know
Andy has a way of arguing that makes it
Well,
more
it's not
personal.
fair. It's
a
fair.
more personal style, but even then, I agree. Like Fred and I have had many arguments.
Yeah.
And then we kind of laugh about it as we're walking back to the
But
office.
I kicked Andy off a show once, literally. It was we were in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Yeah. It was a Super
This
Bowl
is
show.
one of the times when I wasn't around to protect Andy from himself.
And he just went over the line.
He
I
called
said,
Corey Dillon something that he shouldn't have said.
I said,
Fred
you're
just
out.
said, go. Just go.
You're off the show. I kicked him off the show.
Like a child. We
That's
treat him
never
like a
happened to
child.
us yet, too,
And then
so
as
that
soon-
means we're
Was
good.
there video on this show?
No.
No, it was Super Bowl.
It's back before
04
cameras.
Super Bowl, so February of 05. And as soon as the show ended, Andy went up to Fred and goes, "Sorry, Fred." He had his head down. It's like hat in the end.
Yesterday, that was good yesterday. Yes, I really thought you guys were mad at each other for a second, and I was nervous. I was a little bit.
You're like the kid watching the parents argue.
You're talking about the Jack Jones thing?
Yeah.
I backed out of that when I realized Fred was serious about that one. I pulled back on the reins. Like even stubborn Paul sometimes says, "Know when to say when."
Whoa!
I think that one was a little too important.
I enjoyed it.
No, it's good to.
Yeah,
argue.
I have no more opinions on the Jack Jones.
Controlled conflict.
Neither do I.
I will keep those to myself.
Controlled
from here on
conflict
out.
is good. You know, you just can't go overboard with it or make it too much.
Yeah.
I also just think it's boring when everyone thinks the same. Like, you want to have a little bit of...
Absolutely.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul will not allow that to happen.
Yeah.
He can play either side of the fence, no matter what you feel. He'll come at you and make sure you feel that way for sure.
Okay, now he's being a little bit of a stinker. But just to you peel behind the curtain a little bit when we do a little trash talk every week.
Oh yeah, I got to take the easy one.
And we come up with different different topics, and they're thrown around. And I always say, okay, yeah, we could do that one. I go, Deuce, what do you want?
I'll go either side.
I always make him pick. I go, I'll just take the other side.
And I take the easy one. I'm like, what do I really think? Because if I try to like fake it, I feel like I'm gonna have one thing to say, and then like 5 more minutes to go.
And if it's a really bad example of one that I felt that Deuce had the right side, like that was the side I just argued for the sake of arguing. When it's over, I go, you were right.
I don't know how you do that. I have to be on the side that I think is right. Like I can't argue just for arguing's
I won't
sake.
argue something that's like inarguable.
Yeah.
Like if you say,
well, hopefully you pick something that does have both.
Right. Yeah. Like there's always something that can be argued both sides. If it can't be, then I
then
say
you don't
no.
pick that topic.
I say no. That's a dumb argument the other way, and we pick something else.
So what did y'all pick this week? I think it was is the AFC least now the AFC beast?
Yeah, is it the best division in football?
Yeah. That was a drag out. What? That was just a drag out.
Yeah, Mike had that it is the best division, and I probably agree that it is. But I think you can make an argument for the AFC North.
Okay.
Yeah. So I made the argument for it.
And we also highlighted, that there's a lot of people saying that Miami and Bills might take a step back, and the Jets are still the Jets. So there's wiggle room. It's not like
you
cut
make
and
stuff
dry.
up.
Yeah.
All right, Bridgestone is the official tire of the New England Patriots and proud partner with Sullivan Tire, New England's headquarters for quality Bridgestone tires. Visit sullivantire.com to find a location near you. Paul's Food's here, so we'll take a break, and Show Within a Show begins now.
Get in on the action with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the New England Patriots. New customers can download the DraftKings app now and play free for millions in prizes using code PATS. That's code PATS only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
And we're back.
We back.
The Show Within a Show. And I'm joined by some guests. It's Matisse and the Office Girlies? The Office Girlies. Usually the Content Girlies. It's the Office Girlies today. We got Alex Francisco, Veronica Vahanic, right? Is that right?
Yep, you got it right.
And Danny Callahan.
What's up, everyone?
And so, as usual, we're going to start with some trivia with the grand prize of the ever so sought after Patriots Unfiltered t-shirt.
Danny just got her first one this week.
Man.
There you go.
I'm very excited.
Okay, question 1. Tom Brady has thrown touchdowns to 98 different receivers. How many of those receivers caught double-digit touchdowns? Buccaneers players included. All right, so that's question 1. Question 2, not counting the Patriots, what team has Tom Brady played the fewest amount of times? All right. Question 3, what teams has Tom Brady never lost to, and what was his record against each team? All right, do you guys even know that? Don't answer it. It's a two-parter. All right, the teams and the record. So send the answers in to webradio@patriots.com, and you win a Patriots Unfiltered t-shirt. But here's why we are really here. This is a fun one today, guys.
Hit us, Matisse.
We're going to talk about the top fantasy football punishments that you can do.
Let's go. I did so much crowdsourcing
Okay.
for this.
All right, Alex, start it off.
Okay, so which one do I even start with? Because I have 3 on the top of my head. 2 of them my friends have actually had to do. One I just saw on TikTok, and I thought it was the most outlandish thing ever. I'm going to save the best for last, and I'm going to start. My friend George, Nessen's own George Bajecki, had to do a lemonade stand in his hometown for like 12 hours until he made a certain amount of money for losing his league.
Did the winner get the money?
And he was definitely dressed up in some type of mascot type outfit or something.
It's
I don't
a tough
know
world out there.
12 hours is a long time.
I don't
Was
know
it
who
a
got the
busy
money,
road?
but it had
Did
to
he
be.
have customers? Like, I have questions.
It was a busy park from what it looked like, and I know he was home in New Jersey, so hopefully it wasn't his hometown and like his old high school crushes are driving by seeing this man doing a lemonade stand.
I have had some bad ones. All right, I did this one for Fantasy
Personally, as in you lost and
I
had to
didn't
do
lose,
this?
but I was close for this one. This was for Fantasy Premier League. I also do Fantasy Football, but same thing, Fantasy Punishments. The loser had to go to a comedy club and do stand-up.
Oh, that's tough.
And I was like,
Open mic night.
I was so like firmly in second to last place that every morning before I came into Gillette Stadium, I'd practice my cold open in the shower because like I was locked in for this.
You were ready for it.
And I went on a 3-game winning streak at the end and somehow got out of it. So my friend had to do it.
Hey, that's why you prepare for the worst, and get surprised with
Hope
the
for
best.
the best.
So what you're
Yeah.
saying is you have a set prepared.
Yes,
Okay.
prepared. You're not gonna hear it though.
All right,
All right, actually,
future
let's switch
segment
the
of the
segment,
show
yeah.
within the show. Future show.
All right, Veronica, you got anything?
Oh God, not me personally, but I have seen the internet roast these poor people for just the most heinous punishments that you can think of. I saw one just recently that a guy had to take like a life-sized, I think it was a Pooh Bear, out to dinner
Yep.
at like a nice restaurant, like a 5-star
You're
restaurant.
like Carbon.
And you have to order for them too.
And you have to order for them.
Stop.
And like act like everything is normal. Like act like you're like out on a date with like a life-size Pooh Bear.
I've seen those before, and that was also floated in one of my leagues.
I love that idea. I think it's so humiliating.
Yeah.
The
Dan, you
clip
got-
that I saw, they sang "Happy Birthday" to him too, which is also
Oh.
hysterical.
Oh,
Like his
that's really
friends must have
funny.
tipped
Why does that
off
kind of
that-
make me
You take them
sad?
to like
I think it's hysterical.
Imagine being in the restaurant though and not really knowing what's
like
going
a
on.
table over. Like
I'd ask to join.
I don't know, it'd be worse, like a fancy restaurant or like like a Fuddruckers or something where like they're gonna sing "Happy Birthday" to you. And, like,
I would
people are
have
gonna get
like
super into
I
it.
would
I don't
make
know.
it.
Some strange people probably walk into Fuddruckers.
Yeah.
It's probably part of the course there.
I would make it a very expensive
Love
restaurant.
Fuddruckers, for the
Like
record.
spend some money, and just witness.
Just go all in.
Yeah, just witness people witnessing you being out of your mind. Because not everybody plays fantasy football, so not everybody's gonna get it.
That's true.
Which is hysterical to me.
Dan, you got anything?
I got a couple, yeah.
All right.
This is a shout out to my fantasy football girlies. This was a punishment we had last year. We actually didn't execute because there was like 12 girls we had to schedule around, but the punishment was everyone was to go out to a bar in Boston. The loser had to wear a clear backpack, and everyone can put whatever they want. Whatever they wanted. It can be the most incriminating thing ever, and you had no idea. You had to show up with the backpack, and everyone would just drop whatever in, and you'd be out at the bars all night wearing it.
You definitely supplied the backpack. from
What
the
would
pro
you
shop.
put in the backpack? I'm
to peel
thinking
off
like you gotta have like super tampons and like rash cream. Like I'm
Oh,
putting the
yeah.
like, you can
God.
put some really incriminating
That would
stuff in
be-
there.
And with that many girls in the league, like, there
Diapers,
were, like,
adult diapers.
Yeah, something bad. There were like 12 to 15, so the amount of stuff that was going in there, it could have been bad.
Gold. Oh my god.
I
What was
really
the best
like that.
one? What was the best idea that was floated for something to put?
I don't think people exposed their ideas. They were keeping it a surprise.
I like that.
That's scary.
That might be repurposed for my league.
Yeah, there you go. It's a good one.
All right, Alex, go say the one you were saving because I think we might have the same one.
Okay. So I'll start with the medium one, which my friend had to do. Shout out Chris Cotillo, Red Sox beat writer for MassLive.com. This was either last season or the season prior. Chris Cotillo had to go to an IHOP or a Denny's for a full 24 hours. And the only way you can get your time shaved off is by eating a stack of pancakes.
Oh
Love
my
it.
God.
That you think you can do it, I think, until you get there. And
Yeah.
until you're faced with spending an entire day
It's
in an
tough.
IHOP,
I've
a
seen
Waffle
those.
House, or a Denny's.
And you have to like live tweet it too, and then
Oh,
like
man.
I've seen it like the waitress gets involved, and they're like
Oh,
they
yeah.
tell the chefs, they're like, hey, this guy's gonna be here a long
Well,
time.
Cotillo had an issue because he had to cash out with his original waitress. She's like, I'm trying to go home. This is the shift change.
Poor girl.
But you want the best one?
Yeah, go
Or
for it.
do you want to go first?
Go for it, because I already know what it is. I think I heard you
This
talk
is
about it yesterday.
you definitely did.
Yeah.
This is by far the worst possible punishment I could ever personally imagine. I'm sure there's worse. However, if you lose your fantasy football league, you must then take public transportation, entirely public transportation, from wherever you live to the hometown of your number 1 overall draft pick.
Oh my God.
It's a tough world out there. Example being, if you're in Boston and you draft Justin Jefferson and you lose,
Where's he from?
you're taking a bus to St. Rose, Louisiana.
Oh,
All right?
no.
No, yeah.
That stresses me out.
Can you imagine
The amount of money that
just
you
to
have to
turn
spend.
around and come home? Like, look around. Oh, cool. This is East wherever, Alabama. Okay, now I'm coming home.
Oh, it is awful.
man.
I've heard that one, and I heard you talk about it yesterday. I had a friend.
I'm purposely drafting a kid from California,
Oh,
San
yeah.
Diego, or something.
Going on a trip.
I had a friend who, in this league, the loser had to take a bus from Boston to Cleveland.
Oh,
just the
So
Greyhound.
your friend actually did this.
He had to. He didn't lose. He was
The
in the
league.
league, and the kid like live tweeted the whole thing, and he was like, "Yep, it's 4 a.m. and I'm in Syracuse now," or
I was
like
gonna say,
wherever.
did it take him like 8 days to
Yeah,
get there?
it just took him so long.
It's
I
like
Just
a
live
it's like a
tweeting it
2-hour
sounds like a
flight.
Drake
He
album.
li- he live-
10 a.m., 4 a.m. in Toronto.
Legit. And I guess like you either had to take the bus back or pay out of your own pocket to fly back, which obviously just fly back.
Yeah,
like there's
right.
just no way you can do that bus round trip.
The mental anguish I would experience in some of these.
But
I feel like I would take a week off and just make a trip out of it. Stop. There's got to be some interesting
Not to
cities.
Cleveland. Not to Cleveland.
There's got to be some interesting cities at least along the way.
There's not. I've done that drive before. I'm sorry, there's nothing there.
That's not it.
All right, so it seems like this is a hot topic that we might be able to get an episode.
I think
or
that
two.
callers, you guys don't call into the show within a show. Emailers, email in the worst punishments you've ever heard of. Maybe we make an entire segment, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
out of what the emailers have to say.
Hey, I love it.
I'm there for it.
Send us your worst punishments for fantasy football, whether it's something you heard, you saw it on social media, something you've had to do personally within your own league. I can't personally wait to hear them. This is one of my favorite topics.
Yeah, it's the best. I mean, football starts tonight, guys. It's been a long
Get creative too.
But
people are already creative, but get creative.
guys, thank you for joining.
Shout out to the content
Yeah.
girlies, the supervisors coming in.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Danny
welcome
from
on the
our
show
community
whenever.
relations team. Veronica is our powerhouse on social media. So, yeah.
So one
Let
more
you guys
thing.
behind the curtain. See ya.
Let's
our crew.
let's hope you got those trivia questions in, because I think I stumped some people last week. So send the answers in the web radio, and let's get back to Patriots Unfiltered.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want on your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
And now, great moments in history.
Eric and Paul show a feeling for the league. Jacksonville wins this game. They do, in fact, get that.
I took the Houston points.
What about the cover?
I took the Houston
3.5.
points.
Jacksonville by 3.5.
Yeah.
You took Jacksonville, so you want the point. You lay in the points.
If we believe this,
They're gonna win by more.
he's winning on both sides.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's winning.
They're gonna win.
Now you want to know why I have that face.
Some of these are not intentional.
Yeah. This is your lock of the week. Upset lock of the week. Pittsburgh over the Titans. What was the spread?
2. 2. Huge upset.
They're going to win by more.
Big upset. The New England money's not coming in. So that worries me. That worries me in this game. What do they know? What do they know? But I'm going to say nothing. They know nothing.
I thought you were going to say nothing.
Yeah. And
he's done that plenty.
Yeah. Patriots prevail.
Shocker.
28-19. Patriots.
My favorite part of the Fredisms when he gives picks on games that there's some thought to, like that one, right? He's tortured for a minute.
And
really could go either way.
Right, and then
still
Patriots
finds a way
win.
for a 2-score win.
Right, yeah.
That's another great moment from
Let's talk stats. Bob's Discount Furniture has sofas that convert to sleepers when you're feeling sacked, mattresses that put you to sleep as soon as you touch down, and thousands of highly rated styles that keep the home team happy. Shop at Bob's, the official furniture store of the New England Patriots.
That was the tour de force right there, Fred. I was picturing like a book, like maybe you could write a book on gambling, and it's like your face with like, what do the sharps know? And, like all his little Fredisms on the book. Like, get the inside track.
He's going to take the Eagles both ways on Sunday.
The cover of the book is like the art of the deal.
Oh, my God.
I can't gamble, but if I did, here's what I would do.
Listen, people are counting on this. There's a guy that's going to put $1 on every one of Paul's over-unders. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I would definitely caution against that.
No, that's why it's fun, right?
But now I'm going to be thinking about it.
I know. That's what adds a little juice.
You'll forget in like 2 weeks.
The action is the juice.
No, the livelihood of his family depends on you.
Yeah.
Right. He's got like young twins or something.
Twins. He's got to buy 2 of everything.
He's got to buy those diapers.
Oh,
yeah.
Twins.
We had some winners. People that won T-shirts during the show within a show. Trivia questions. The first one was, Tom Brady has thrown TDs to 98 different receivers.
Name them.
How many of those receivers caught double-digit touchdowns, Bucs players included? And the answer is 20 players did.
Wow.
And the winner was Alex in Raleigh, North Carolina.
He guessed 20 exactly?
He got it. He got it.
That's
He looked
gotta
that
be,
up.
Yeah, you got to use the intranet.
Sure.
CFR.
Not counting the Patriots, what team has Tom Brady played against the fewest times?
Not counting the Patriots, what team has he played
I know the
against
answers.
the
I'm not
least
gonna say
amount
it.
of
I saw it.
times?
The Atlanta Falcons.
Well, you figure NFC,
Is
right?
that right?
One time.
Is it the Falcons?
NFC
No,
West.
it's the Cardinals twice.
As an NFC
Because he was
West
hurt in
guess.
08, and that was the year they played out there. So I think he missed a couple.
Yeah.
Missed a couple games.
The winner there was Regis in Chattanooga. And finally, what teams have Tom Brady never lost to? And what it was his record against each team? There's 3 of them. 3 teams he's never lost to.
You had to give all 3 answers with both the
With
record
the records
and
correct.
Atlanta, one of them?
No.
No. He lost to Atlanta?
Patriots, obviously, 1-0, right?
Oh, yeah.
I thought I couldn't include the
Oh, he lost. Did he lose to Atlanta as a Buck?
Probably.
Maybe. Yeah, that makes sense. Vikings, 6-0. And Bucks, 4-0.
No.
And the winner was Christian Almeida. He didn't say where he's from. How's he going to get his T-shirt?
Emailed him back to say, give me your address.
Okay.
Well, this is why you give him a hard time. You're striving for 100%, but sometimes it's really not in his control.
It's hard, yeah.
He can't just send it off to parts unknown.
Actually typed that because I was looking for that's poor to me.
It's like when you send your homework in, but you don't put your name on it.
Oh. Or when you accidentally grab the wrong FedEx slip and send your dresses across the country and have no idea where they're going.
We had somebody in our office do that yesterday. She's running around the office.
It wasn't Thelma.
Yeah.
It was Louise.
Louise did that?
Yeah.
grabbed the wrong thing out of the printer and just had to return like a $200 dress, I think.
Oh, no, 6 dresses.
Nico?
6 dresses, and sent them to some random place in California that was.
Yeah. So they're gone.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, now I feel bad.
Oh, she's funny. Yeah, she's
No,
funny. She's a
they
character.
are high comedy, these two. And the other part of that comedy
Am I
team
Thelma
is...
or Louise?
You're Thelma. She's
Okay.
Louise.
You're going to go off the cliff holding hands?
The best part is, like, she ordered all those dresses before her event and, like, ended up having me bring in dresses for her to try on and wear anyways.
She's an emerging new character on the show, I think. The Nico character.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
She is a character.
We at
that's
least
for
got
sure.
to warm
really
her up
is.
on the show within the show first, maybe.
Oh, yeah, you should get her on there. But she said yesterday, she's like, okay, the dresses are in Nashua right now. But I would have to go with Michael Rundy because he's the one who, like, ordered the thing. So, like, I'm like, you're going to make Michael Rundy drive to Nashua, New Hampshire? To get
The
your
worst
dress?
part is that Michael Rundy would drive to Nashua, New Hampshire.
He'd be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All of us, actually, yeah.
Get 27 videos to edit, but no problem.
Yeah, I'll find time.
It's okay. I'll just be up till 1 a.m. tonight. It's fine.
That Midwest kid, you know.
I
and-
know.
Oh, by the way, he's working on a hype video for this game. He did a great job.
Yeah, he's good.
He's
Yeah.
good with
so
the hype
good.
videos.
He runs on Celsius,
Yeah.
What does that mean?
an energy drink.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
The kids are saying
The olds again, right over our head.
I prefer Fahrenheit, but you know.
that one went over my head too.
You guys
I
don't
was
know the
like-
Celsius drink?
Well, I know.
No,
I know
did,
what we were
like
saying
now that you mention it,
Yeah,
but when I thought it was a phrase when you first said it.
Which
like,
one's Andy's?
C4.
C4.
Oh my God.
Not anymore though.
Those are
No,
insane.
he lost his sponsorship?
Yeah.
They all
Ah.
make me feel like I'm having heart palpitations.
Yeah.
Celsius is supposed to be good for you, right?
I don't know about good for you, but not as bad as the others.
It's not like
Red
Monster.
Bull, a Monster.
Yeah, I could
stay
see Andy
away.
drinking 4 of those and being that guy in the plane with the
Oh,
diarrhea.
Oh my God! have we
What? I've
discussed
got to
this?
go.
We were
Look
talking
who's here.
Screaming at everybody.
Look who's here.
Be mad too.
She'd be mad.
Listeners, this is my best work friend.
Oh.
This is Nicolette.
Hi, Nicolette.
I got a message that you guys were talking crap about me.
I didn't even bring up the Canadians yet. I had.
No, we just we brought up you shipping your dresses.
Your dress.
to the
So
wrong
you picked up the wrong return slip and sent 6 dresses to somewhere you have no idea. How is that going?
even tell me about this.
Is there any
Yeah.
way that you're gonna figure this out?
So I picked up. Also, Fred, can we talk about how you thought that you weren't comprehending that the dress package?
I was confused.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
package was gone.
Yeah.
So you're like, Nicolette, just put on the new slip and just mail it out. I'm like, the package is gone, Fred. But yeah. So I have $200 worth of dresses are gone in thin air right now because I put the wrong package label on these dresses. And it was a return slip that another coworker, Michael, had used previously to send something weeks ago. So now it's being sent to this place called the Dark Room.
It's like their camera.
What goes on
probably
there?
equipment.
Yeah, it's camera equipment stuff.
Some guy's
Yeah.
girlfriend at the dark room just got 6 new dresses.
Yeah, so it's all my dresses for my sister's wedding that I was returning.
But at
so
least
that
you know where it's going, so you can call them.
Yeah. So I contacted the guys through a DM through Instagram.
What is that? Just using the phone?
Well, that's what I tried, but they didn't have a phone number. So I had to direct message them, and actually the way he's communicating with me is voice memos on direct message.
Oh, I don't know about this dark room place. That's a little sketchy.
Don't go there alone.
You gotta take some muscle.
I
with
got your
you.
dresses. Come on in.
Yeah, so 100% my stupidity. It's, as the guys are saying, I did an oopsie doopsie, and yeah. So
Lucy, you got a lot of explaining to do.
Can you explain though? You're making Rundy drive where?
No, I'm not making him drive anywhere. At first we thought USPS could we could intercept it at the Foxborough one, and they said they couldn't find it, but even if they did, Michael's name is on the package, so he would have to come and pick it up. So in general, though, it's good because it is getting sent to the right state that it's supposed to be returned to, but just not the right place.
Okay, so it sounds like you're going to get this figured out.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, on my part, I need to start reading things.
So the other thing, though, but also people need to not leave things on printers.
Yeah.
If you print something out, go get it in.
Well, that printer
And,
in
and
our-
also,
in our area is
here's
always
another
full.
office pet peeve: you put in custom stationery, and you do what you have to do, and you leave the stationery there. So then the next person prints it out on letterhead that they don't want. You need to, printer etiquette is very important.
Agreed. So it's Michael's fault.
Yeah.
Don't take advantage of Michael Rundy. All right, he's the kindest person here,
No, he
and
totally
he's all. Yeah, you're probably right. It is my fault.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Okay, so.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you
Nicolette.
guys so much for talking
Good to
crap.
see you.
We call
All right.
that news with Nico
Say bye to
upstairs.
YouTube.
Glad you
Fantastic.
guys got to experience it.
All right.
Can't see real good.
Is that Bill Shakespeare?
All right. Webradio@patriots.com is the
Football.
email
How do
address.
we
A couple
get-
more emails before we get into picks. Andy's in Cleveland. He says, ready to get some live football finally. Thanks for keeping us entertained.
Yeah.
Can we make it a rule that people on the show are either in or out on picks? Don't make our boy Paul calculate win percentages. If they can't be here on Thursday, is it that hard to look at the schedule and email Paul your picks?
All right. We're establishing it right now.
Okay, all
We
right.
fans of the show need to know who has the best feel for the league.
Okay, I agree with that last
feel
line, but
personally
in people's defense, we all have different jobs here, and sometimes there's a lot going on. And Alex is at a community event, or we're going on the road somewhere, and
So
it
get him
gets
in on
confusing.
Tuesday. I agree.
No.
Somehow get your picks in.
Yeah.
I used to slack Paul before the pregame.
Yeah,
I'd
see,
sit
and
down
I
Thursday
don't
night
like that.
football. I'd be like, crap, my
I gotta go
pick.
to Slack. I gotta click it.
Oh, because then then you have to write them all up.
Right,
down.
right.
Like
I'm gonna
this-
be better
We're
this
just
year.
doing it.
All
It's
right.
done. Like during the show, we're done.
Everyone that betted the over on me being here, they're counting on me. So
I think Alex is going to win this year. I got confidence in you.
Mike,
Megan
why
used to
did
drunk
pretty
text polar
well
picks.
last
Why don't you
year. I
create
did
like a
pretty well last
spreadsheet
year.
and people just
Fill them
fill
in.
it in?
We could do that.
That's
And
a
a
great
Google
idea.
Doc.
Yeah,
A Google
yeah,
Doc
and
if you
Paul
would.
you can print it out for Paul.
Is that
So that was-
technology like I
That
don't
was
know, it might be
awesome for
advanced
wouldn't
Fred.
have to
Paul.
hurry.
That was awesome for Fred. He didn't even bother looking in my direction. He just said, "Why don't you just make a Google Doc?"
no way.
Look at Evan. He's the number nerd.
No,
He definitely
he's the
knows Excel.
spreadsheet guy.
I'm the
Really?
spreadsheet guy.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I
Yeah,
said.
I'm the
But you have
spreadsheet
to make
guy.
sure we're using the right spread number.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. That's the big thing. We'll go off of Paul's numbers. This
So I will no longer win because I will no longer be doing the book.
Oh.
No, you'll do the book.
No, I'm not if it's on
Oh,
that.
and it all
Well, we'll just
comes
have-
so
out.
now
we'll
we're
have a
gonna see.
backup.
Now we're gonna see how good Paul really
Yeah, we'll
is
have a
if he's been
backup
greasing
He's
the
been
books.
cooking the books.
Yeah.
Correct.
Jack says.
I've been found.
Jack says Patriots shocked the world. Teams coming off a Super Bowl loss historically underperform Week 1. Combine that with new defensive and offensive coordinators. Bill Belichick at home with a summer to prepare. Tom Brady back in the building. Patriots shock the world and sneak out a last-minute win with a long field goal by Ryland. P.S. Anyone saying they'd rather listen to commercials than the show within the show is just another whiny internet commenter.
Whoa.
Wow. I think we've got something. The tide's starting to turn, Matt.
Told you it was the old people.
Yep.
I don't know why
Show
you have
within
to
the
make
show.
fun of me all the
Reception
time.
bin.
I'm right here.
What?
It's been improving. It's been improving. The
Yeah.
last couple shows, people are.
Well,
are
we're starting to give things away,
Yeah, you
so
give
people-
freebies
That
away.
too.
What does today's guys get? Do they get
T-shirts.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
Except for the guy who didn't put his email
Yeah,
down.
you gotta do that.
Yeah.
His address.
Yeah, physical address.
Just to answer a question that I received, you can win multiple times. Keep answering.
Okay.
The T-shirts do shrink.
Whoever
a
has the
little
most T-shirts at the end of the season. wins
Saying if
the-
you have already won a
Wins the
trivia
poster.
question, don't feel like you
T-shirt.
can't answer again.
I think we're going to order new T-shirts, right? Isn't Matisse going to get new T-shirts?
bit. Maybe crew necks. hoodies?
No.
Hmm?
Ooh.
Anybody
Oh,
here
yeah.
monitoring your budget?
Maybe some gray, like Heather Gray crew neck.
He turns around and looks and goes, no. Shut up.
Bart in Poland via Cordoba, Spain. A lot of people going to Spain for vacations.
We got
these
Spain.
So
days.
he's on vacation because he said he was from Poland, but then he.
Via. He's in Spain right now.
Okay. Cool.
People in Europe travel a lot to other places in Europe.
Yeah.
You got a push pin
Oh.
on that, Spain?
Here are my homer
Spain?
predictions
Of
for the
course.
season. Patriots go 10-7, make the playoffs as a wild card alongside the LAC and Cleveland. Christian Gonzalez wins Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Bill Belichick wins Coach of the Year. Patriots lose in the playoffs to the Super Bowl winning Bengals, who will beat Dallas in the Super Bowl.
So if that happens, the following do not make the playoffs. 2 out of 3 of Buffalo, Jets, Miami, Baltimore, and well, that's probably about it.
Cleveland
If Cleveland,
might
the
be a bigger
LAC, and the
reach than
Patriots
than
are the wild card, then that means a lot of good teams don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Deshaun Watson can still play like Deshaun Watson. He's on my watch list.
Yeah, that's we brought that up the other day.
Yeah.
Final email, Jeff in Brooklyn says, I love how Evan demurs and says he doesn't like the attention from the press conference and then refuses to give the practice report until he hears his intro jingle.
I like the
point.
I like the jingle.
Play my music. Play my music.
It's not about that. I just like the jingle. It's got its place in the
He's
show.
like, he's like Greta Garbo. I'm ready for my close-up.
I wish you guys could have been in the press conference room. Too.
I
It was
wish I
very
wasn't
funny.
in the.
Was it the
press
first
conference.
question?
No.
No.
And the funny thing is that it like wasn't even that scheme. Like it wasn't like I asked him like
no,
some
he
like
seemed like he wanted to give you a
Yeah.
little something. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, he was ready for you.
Yeah, everybody else was saying
gave
that
you, like,
that
the-
was like in the holster, you know,
the
like
eyes
he was
thing? Yeah.
prepared for that one, and I was
Evan
like,
might as well be the offensive
He
coordinator.
was flirting with you. It was like a little bromance.
No.
Yeah.
Veronica,
You guys
our
are in the
social
talking
media
stage, but-
was texted me and she was like, "I'm gonna tell Jesse been flirting with Mac," and I was like, "Don't worry,
He gave
she
you the
knows."
eyes.
Is Mac your hall pass?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
maybe.
I know what that is.
He didn't listen to the show last year.
All right, Paul, it's that time.
We don't have to read last year's if you don't want.
Well, I do want because this is going to be the last time I ever win. Because you guys
Okay.
are taking the book away from me.
So last year, Paul Who won? Now, does this
Me.
include playoffs? Because I had a good playoff run.
No, this is the regular season last year. Paul was 175, 94, and 2. Mike was 173, 96, and 2, so not too far behind. Fred was 165, 104, and 2. Evan was 113, 61, and 1. Alex, you were 87 and 49. So the winning percentages had Evan and I tied at 649. Wow. Mike at 642, Alex at 640, and Fred, where he normally finishes, at 613.
That's I mean, all above 600 is actually pretty good.
These
though.
are just
But
winners.
straight up, though.
These
That's
are just
easy.
winners.
That's easy. That's
with the
easy.
spread
Still pretty
where
good. I think it's pretty good.
Where the the men are separated from the boys. Paul 152, 115, and 4.
That's really good.
That's the best I've ever done. Mike, Evan 89, 83, and 3. Then Mike 133, 134, and 4. Alex 66, 68, and 2. And Fred 119, 148, and 4.
I had a historically bad
The winning
season.
percentages, I was 568. You could make some money.
That's
going
really good.
568.
That's really
Evan,
good.
you also could make some money, although probably about break even. 517.
Yeah, with the VIG.
With the VIG.
I'm also not allowed to make money. So.
Correct. Mike 498, Alex 493, and Fred 446.
Yep.
That were the regular season totals from last year. But it's a new season,
Right,
and I'm
it
no
all
longer
starts today.
And I'm no longer going to be able to cook the books.
No.
So,
Yep.
who knows what's going to happen?
All right, so let's get into it. We got to hurry. Tonight on the NFL Network.
Is it really?
Is that the only place you can watch this game?
No, it's on NBC.
NBC.
Oh, isn't it an NBC game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, they just.
Yeah, they're
NFL
not
is-
doing that streaming crap on me, are they?
No, it's not Prime like last year.
Detroit visits Kansas City. I know a lot of sharps are high pointing this game, but what's the spread, Paul?
Kansas City by 4.5.
Kansas City.
I'm
by
using, by the way, just in full disclosure up front, DraftKings.
Okay.
DraftKings spreads.
That's the spread this year.
All right.
All right. I'm going to kick us off here. 2023 season. I know Travis Kelce is questionable, but I don't think it matters. I'm going to take Kansas City, and I'm going to lay the points. Patrick Mahomes is a good player.
Kansas City, and you're laying the points?
Yes, sir.
Retweet. Chiefs.
It's
Chiefs, both ways.
I'm taking the Chiefs both ways as well. I think the Lions are overrated. That's all I got.
Even if they're not. Chiefs are the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs because of what Alex said. They're the Chiefs. I do not think the Lions are overrated, but I don't think they're ready for this spot.
Week 1, a lot of emotion, a lot of adrenaline.
A lot of kneecaps.
Detroit comes out. Defense plays well. They cover. Meaning they lose, but they don't lose by 4.5. You got
so
that,
you
Paul?
got Kansas City to win and
Yeah.
Detroit to cover.
That's right.
You got that, Paul?
You got that?
This is why they want to take it away from me. I'm reading text in the middle of the game.
Okay.
All right.
You write that down in your
So
little book?
the Chiefs stands alone on this one. All right. Sunday at 1, Carolina at Atlanta. And obviously everybody's record is 0-0. So I don't need to say the record.
Atlanta by 3.5.
Man, I don't know much about this game. I'm going to be totally honest with you.
who
I'm not
does?
even sure who's starting at quarterback. Well, I guess Bryce Young is going to be.
Bryce Young versus Desmond Ritter.
Yeah.
Matt, you need to save that clip.
What did I say?
I don't know much about this game.
I'm gonna.
That's it.
I'm gonna go with Atlanta. I'm gonna go with Atlanta. Desmond Ritter.
The Atlanta Falcons.
And I will. What was the points, please?
3.5.
And I will lay the 3.5 points.
Okay.
I don't know why, but there it is.
I took the Falcons both ways as well.
Okay.
I'm on the Falcons this year. NFC South champion,
Ooh,
Atlanta
wow.
Falcons.
Okay.
Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. Good offense. I'm taking the Falcons. I'm taking them to cover.
I notice you left
and
something
I'm-
out.
The
quarterback?
Yeah. Desmond Ritter.
That is on purpose, yep.
Yeah, I actually agree with Evan all around. I think the Falcons are going to win the division. I know the Saints are getting a lot of love in that division, but I am going to open with the Falcons. However, I'm going to take the hook. I'll take Carolina with that half point. Lose by a field goal.
Smart in the division. I like that.
Atlanta, both ways in this game. There you go. Sunday at 1, Houston at Baltimore.
Baltimore by 10.
Ooh,
that's a line.
That's a big week 1 spread.
That's a big week 1 spread, but you know what? Lamar, baby. I'm going to take Baltimore, and I'm going to lay all 10 of those points.
Same.
I'm taking Baltimore, but 10 is too big in week 1. It's too much uncertainty there. New offensive coordinator for the Ravens as well. So I'm taking Houston to cover, but Baltimore to win.
I was tempted to take the points as well, but I won't. I'm going to go with a Ravens victory on week 1, both ways.
Yeah, I got to go with the Ravens both ways in this game. I just don't know anything about Houston, and there's got to be a reason why the Sharps are saying 10.
Yeah,
right?
Because all the money's coming in on Baltimore.
Well, plus
Well-
Houston is one of the 3 worst teams in football.
Yeah.
They are.
I mean, supposed to be. Who knows what's going to happen?
They'll have the number 1 pick.
Joe Burrow says he's ready to go. Sunday at 1, Cincinnati at Cleveland.
Cincinnati by 2.5.
What? Wow, that's a low number. I'm
You
gonna
guys
take.
are sleeping on Cleveland a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a good roster.
I'm gonna take Cincinnati though, and I'll lay the points.
Yeah, that's not a big enough spread for. I'm going Cincy both ways.
Me as well. Cincy.
What did you say the spread was, Paul?
2.5. I will take Cincinnati both ways, but you
like
know
Cleveland.
those division things that tend to happen. Cleveland owns Cincinnati.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
it worries me a little bit.
Uh,
I'll just
folks,
say it's a new year.
This is your upset lead pipe lock of the week. The Browns both ways with the
wow.
win at home.
Well,
So
We'll see if there is actually an upset lock of the week in the ensuing 17 weeks of the season if Fred ever picks Cincinnati. That will be the true upset lock of the week.
Because Paul knows my love of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Fred hates the Bengals.
I'm definitely worried about Deshaun Watson. And when I say worried, I mean like
Like
couldn't
that he's
happen-
done.
Couldn't happen
Yeah.
to a better person, but yeah.
1 o'clock, the Jaguars, the Trevor Lawrence-led Jaguars, are at the Anthony Richardson-led Colts.
Jags by 5.
Jags by 5. Interesting division game. I'm tempted. To take those points for Indy, but you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take Jacksonville. I'm going to lay the points.
Jags both ways.
I'm taking the Jags both ways too. Colts are on tank watch.
Yeah.
And I think they're going 1-16 this year.
Just to get Marvin Harrison?
I am not convinced it's going to be Marvin Harrison.
It's not going to be a quarterback.
I think it might be a quarterback.
Really?
If you have the number 1 pick in this draft and you don't take Caleb Williams, then you deserve to be fired.
But wait a minute. You're saying they're going to tank.
Yes.
When you tank, you have somebody in mind.
Caleb Williams.
So they don't like Anthony Richardson already?
I think that they're at least going. I think that they will try to showcase Anthony Richardson and then trade him for another first-round pick or something good, and go with Caleb Williams.
That's
chess.
Chess. Gotta.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now that would actually be chess
Yeah.
if it worked out.
Sounds like it.
I'm with Fred. I think Chris Ballard should be fired immediately if he took a guy at 4 that he doesn't like, so they could go 1-16, 17 or
No.
whatever. 1-16.
And you have to know now that you don't like it.
Caleb
In
Williams
order
for
to
next year.
tank,
I'm not
it's a
saying that.
commitment.
Right before he sight unseen,
Right.
I'm tanking.
I'm not
the 4th
saying
overall
that.
pick.
I'm just saying that I think that that's how it will end up shaking out. Is that Anthony Richardson is going to have a rocky rookie year,
Oh, okay,
and it
that's
won't make
different.
sense for
Okay.
them to pass on Caleb
Okay.
Williams.
That's different. You're saying they're in tank mode now.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
That's two different things.
I
You're
think-
saying Anthony Richardson's not going to play well, and they're going to say we still need a quarterback, and they're going to take
correct.
Caleb.
But they're tanking regardless. Yes.
So he doesn't necessarily need to be fired for that.
Okay.
Although I would fire him
Yeah.
for that. I took Jacksonville both ways.
I'm tempted to take the points, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go Jaguars both ways. Sunday at 1, Buccaneers at the Vikings.
Vikings by 6.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
I always struggle picking Kirk Cousins in this Vikings team, but
It's a 1 o'clock game. He does well.
yeah,
Good
I'm gonna
point,
I'm
Fred.
gonna take Minnie and I'll lay the points.
Vikings by 6.
I'm going to take the Vikings both ways too, but I don't like it. This Bucs team, I'm not sure how to read them. I don't really know.
Baker Mayfield.
Are they going to be? Yeah, it is Baker Mayfield. I don't know.
I hope he does well. I really do.
Why?
I think the leagues would be better with a Baker Mayfield playing well.
But why?
He's a personality. He's exciting. I think
he's exciting. He's one of the least athletic quarterbacks in the league.
Oh, but he's fun. They score a touchdown. He runs down the field. I like,
He's hanging by a thread.
I hope he does well.
He makes good commercials.
And he makes good commercials.
Yeah.
Oh, that I would agree with.
Yeah.
His commercial progressive, right?
I hope he does
they were pretty funny. I will take Minnesota,
sure he's the
but
screenwriter on those.
I will. Yeah, it's all his talent. I will take the Bucks because Minnesota doesn't tend to blow anybody out.
Okay.
They play a lot of close
I was
games.
tempted to do that as well.
I'm going to go Vikings both ways. Sunday at 1. The Titans are at the Saints.
Saints by 3.
Saints by 3. All right. I'm going to take the upset on this one then. I'm going to take Tennessee to win with the points.
I also picked a Titans upset.
I like the Saints.
Okay.
I don't know about either of these teams either. I have no idea they could be all over the map.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take the Saints too, just because they're at home. I don't think either team is all that great.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Saints. Toss up. 1 o'clock, the 49ers visit Pittsburgh.
This could be an interesting game. Niners by 2 on the road.
Ooh. This is a good game.
Yeah, maybe one that maybe we could watch like in the Sunday primetime game.
Perhaps.
We'll get to that later, though. Because you'll get one of those games that you've never really seen before in that window.
A lot of hype with Pittsburgh this preseason. Like Kenny Pickett really played well. George Pickens was all over the place.
They're at home.
Everybody loves the 49ers, though. But I'm going to go Pittsburgh. I'm going to go Pittsburgh at home. And I'll take those points.
I picked a Steelers upset too. I don't know why. I had filled out everything, and then except for this game, and I was just something was weird about it. I got an intuition.
Okay.
I'm taking the 49ers both ways. I think that the Pittsburgh hype is way out of control.
Okay.
I do not think the Pittsburgh hype is out of control. I, however, do not think they play great early in the season. So I will take San Francisco. But I think the Steelers are pretty good. And I think if they stay healthy, which they did not do last year, they might not have that early season swoon that they went through.
Yeah, 49ers have...
Niners are just better than
Yeah, they have
Pittsburgh.
so much talent that comes back. So I think out of the gate, like Paul said, they'll play well. They'll play better than most teams out of the gate. So I'll take them to cover. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thanks for checking.
Sunday at 1, the Cardinals are at the Commanders. Here's one that'll get high ratings.
Washington by 7. Sorry, Washington.
Washington.
By 7? I'll take Washington to win, but I'll take the points for Arizona.
There's a team that should tank. It's the Cardinals.
That is the team that's tanking.
Yeah, they are tanking.
They got rid of all their good players except for Buda Baker.
And he wanted out, didn't he, for a little bit?
I took the Commanders to win and cover.
You took the points?
Yeah.
I'm with Alex on this. I think the Cardinals are going to be awful.
Yeah, I actually think Washington is not terrible. And if what we saw in like spurts in the summer is any indication, Sam Howell looks like he has a clue.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take, I almost said the Redskins. Sorry. I'll take the Commanders both ways.
I will as well. Commanders both ways. All right, that wraps up our 1 o'clock slate. So now we go to
Gotta hurry. Only 18 minutes
There's
left.
no 4:05 games. We go right to
Love
4:25. You like that?
Now, is that every week, or
I-
is that just this week the way it worked
I think
out?
it might just be this week, but I would love to outlaw the
Now,
405.
what is your philosophical? We have time to kill, as I just
Yeah.
mentioned. What is your philosophical opposition to the 405 kick?
For the most part, 3 hours and 5 minutes is not enough for the 1 o'clock window to truly wrap up.
That's the right answer.
So I would rather 425 because then you get that local like games in overtime. Now a whole country's watching this one game on CBS that's in overtime before the 425. It gives you that buffer. I like that.
And I think they feel the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't do this a long time ago.
Well, but they don't feel the same way because they still have 405 games.
Yeah, but they're doing a lot more.
It's
420.
all about double headers. There's very few 405 games.
Yeah. So example next
That's what I
week,
was saying.
Giants, Cardinals, and
used to be-
Rams.
But it's not because of
Niners.
what he said.
It used to be all 405 games.
No, they
Yes.
changed it. They changed this a long time ago.
Not a
Fred.
long time ago. It's years, but not a long time ago.
There are 405
Why do they
games
have
next
40?
week.
Why do they have 405 games?
I don't know.
Because he won't.
I don't know actually.
Okay. It's doubleheader related in a market.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you have a longer show in between.
So there's only like
what?
a couple of teams that are affected by that.
All right.
And it's
Fred's
network
done with it.
related. That's what it is.
Okay, it's always money.
It's dumb. It is. I agree.
The Packers are at the Bears.
Packers Bears.
425.
In a stunning upset. This not the Sunday night game. Chicago by 1.
Chicago by 1. I'm gonna
No love for love.
Yeah, that's a tough one though. I'm gonna go with Green Bay. I'll take the point.
I'm going with the Pack.
Are you just not?
Oh
gonna
no,
let-
I skipped over you. Sorry. Good.
I was sorry. I was
How
looking for the
rude.
game in my handwriting. I also took the Packers to upset.
How rude.
That was rude. Packers.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Packers too.
Yeah. I hope Justin Fields does well, just like I hope Baker Mayfield does well.
Now that one I can see.
You know,
that's an athlete that if he gets it and figures out how to throw, that's an exciting player.
Yeah, it's just good for the league. But I'm going to go with the Packers.
That works.
To cover.
I liked what we saw from the Packers in the joint practices. I think. Yeah, I mean Jordan Love's going to
Christian
be.
Watson looks like a beast.
He's going to be
He's
very
hurt, though.
feast or
Oh, is he?
famine, but I think he's going to be able to make some plays. Jordan.
It also would be so Bears to lose
Really?
to the Packers, even with Rodgers gone.
It would.
I don't know. It'd just be funny to me, so I'm rooting for it.
425. The Raiders are at the Broncos, who are, of course, at home.
Broncos by 3.5.
Broncos by 3.5, huh? This is another interesting game. I put this one in 49ers and Pittsburgh. Good matchups, kind of evenly matched teams. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Josh. On this one. I'll take the points.
I took the Broncos to win. I gave the points to the Raiders.
Oh, get the
I'm going to take the Broncos. I'm taking them both ways. I'm worried about the Raiders. That operation seems like it's teetering.
What's that Chandler Jones thing? What the
Very
hell
much
is
on
that?
brand.
So
Very much
weird.
on brand for Josh McDaniels year 2.
Yeah, I mean, like, are we sure Jimmy Garoppolo is the answer for them at quarterback?
No.
Like, there's a lot of.
And who's the kid they drafted that was
Aiden
like
O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, I remember
didn't-
seeing
Barth
him at the
was
Shrine
talking
Bowl.
him up like crazy.
Well, he was good at the Shrine Bowl, but I just have a lot of worries about that entire operation in Vegas right now.
Yeah, I am going to take Denver as well, but I will take the hook. Again, I'll take Vegas with the points. What's the Jake Hayner situation?
Oh,
He's
yeah,
the
he got
rookie quarterback, got
suspended,
suspended
too.
for 6
Yeah.
games.
I don't know
What was it
for
for?
I didn't see. I just saw
I
that
don't know.
play.
No
He's-
one knows.
He's an interesting player.
Did you hear what Sean Payton said to Russell Wilson?
Yeah. Get it together.
Russ Incorporated.
Yeah.
Get it together, man.
Do you have to kiss every baby that you see? You
They
know?
also like Stiddy.
You're not running for an office.
They've said some nice things about Jared Stidham in Denver.
Week 4.
Boy, this is a
over
tough
under.
one. This is a real tough one. I'm going to go with the Raiders. I'm going to go with the Raiders in this game. Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G. You know,
I'm going to go with the random Fredism. I hope you're right because it would be good for the league for the
Yeah.
Raiders to be. You know, it was
There
one of
you
those
go.
franchises. The league is
Sure.
better when the Raiders are relevant.
I don't want to see Josh
I
have
hate
to
the
come
Raiders,
back
so I don't
here with
care.
his tail tucked between his legs. He got fired again. I don't want that either. So I do hope they play well.
425. The Dolphins are at the Chargers.
The lack by 3.
This is another good one. There's a few good matchups this weekend.
Yeah, another one that you might want to see like in prime time.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with Miami. On this one.
Miami.
Yeah. I think Tua's good. If he's healthy, I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in this league. I mean, he makes throws that make me shake my head sometimes. So I'm gonna go Tua. I like Herbert too.
Charges, both ways.
I said yesterday, I think, that I wasn't on the Chargers, but I've been talked into the Chargers just a little bit, and I'm going to take the Chargers.
I know it wasn't by me.
I think Justin Herbert. No, but it started with you. I was
Really?
like, oh,
I think
okay.
they're pretty good.
Yeah, I think Justin Herbert makes a statement in this game against another young up and coming quarterback like Tua and says, "Nah, it's my time now."
What's the number here, Paul?
3.
Chargers are favorite?
Yes, I'm going to take the lack as well. I will say the answer to the question is what, high-powered offense / quarterback has Bill had success with since Brady, and it's Justin Herbert. And I think that sort of clouds a lot of people around here about the Chargers in general. If you asked 100 random Patriots fans how many games the Chargers won last year, none of them would say 10. They would say 9. They squeaked into the playoffs at 9-8. They were no good. They blew that big lead, but They're better than people think, and it's because I think Bill has made Herbert look so bad
Mm.
in the 2 games that they played.
Herbert's big time throws, I'll put him up against
Oh.
any other quarterback in the league in terms of wow factor. That guy can throw the ball.
Yeah.
What do you got, Freddie?
I have the Chargers winning, but not covering.
Okay.
It's a close one.
Wow.
Yep.
It's a close one.
Yeah, it should be. Although the Dolphins got killed there last year.
Yeah. 425, the Rams are at the Seahawks.
Seattle by 5.5 over the Rams.
Wow. Really? Are you surprised by that a little bit?
I was a little
I'm
surprised.
not. The Rams
The
are
Rams
in
are
shambles.
The Rams are like 30th in like a lot of power rankings. No.
No.
They're doing testing here.
Okay. I'm going to take Seattle, and I will lay the points.
I took Seattle. I gave them the points. Gino was good to me last year when I was doing my picks, so I'm going to ride with them again.
Is your quarterback back?
He is, but the rest of the team is gone.
Okay.
Like
And
including Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp's
That's
hurt.
right. He's out. Yeah.
I'm going to take the Seahawks, and I am going to take them to cover as well. Rams are another team you're very worried about. Oh, boy.
Okay. They're doing testing here.
So I am going to take Seattle to win the game, certainly at home. But I will take the LAR. I'll take 5.5. I'm with Fred. I think there's still a little pedigree there. I definitely think they reset the roster a little bit. They're in rebuild mode. So I'll take the Rams to cover.
It's really nice that they waited for the radio
Yeah.
show to start doing
Does
it.
there have to be a speaker in the studio?
Also, how many fire
What if there
alarm
was
tests
a
do we
real
need?
fire and the radio show just didn't know?
If this had been an actual emergency.
I would rely on Matt Morrell. He would get me out. He'd have me on like his shoulder.
No,
see if
yeah.
he's running.
I don't have to worry about it. Morrell would save us all.
The captain always goes down with the show.
Oh, you're right.
All right.
Marines like in Titanic where the captain, the water's like caving into.
Just.
I'm going to go tell him to shut it off?
No.
Okay.
They could turn that off though.
Jeez.
How many fire alarm
you
tests
can't
do we
just like
need?
I know.
battle
We
through.
could just this when the spread is like this, the Sharps know something. I'm going with the Sharps. Seahawks cover. Okay, it works. All right, now we're gonna skip over the Patriots at 425, and we're gonna go to 8:20 Sunday night. The Cowboys are at the Giants on NBC.
This ought to be really fascinating because I don't know if those two teams have ever played on primetime before. But Dallas is favored by 3.5.
I'm going to take Dallas, and I'll lay the 3.5. Hey, there we go.
All right.
Wow, it's gone. Okay. Yeah, Cowboys points.
I like Dallas both ways. I like Dallas in general. I believe the Dallas hype. I think they're going to be in the NFC Championship game this year.
Wow.
I will take Dallas to win. I was tempted to take the Giants outright, but I chickened out, and I will take the points. I'll take the hook.
I'm with Paul.
The
Brian Dable gets it. The Giants and Cowboys. Giants often pull off this win on the first meeting, so I will go with the Giants to
win.
No, they're not going to win.
Cover.
They're going to cover.
Okay, that's what I wrote.
They're going to lose, but within the margin there. Yeah.
Right. We got you. That's how it works.
So now that we're on TV,
Everybody
everybody can see us
book
like
cover.
with the turning the page over the Patriots. We're going to skip over. Everybody sees it now.
Well, we're not there yet.
We already did.
Monday night.
We already skipped
we
over
skipped
the
over.
Patriots.
Yeah.
Fred's one of the kids and doesn't have paper. Like we're all both on it. We don't have the
Monday
the paper.
night on ESPN and ABC. Is it on ABC as well?
It is. It is in fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch this one. The Bills are at the Jets.
Now this one, even though it's a division game, is worth the
your
prime
time.
time window.
Yeah.
There's
Even
a lot of change to this game. Buffalo, a road favorite by 2.5.
Man, I feel like this is a big decision right here. How am I going to kick it off? I'm going to kick it off with chaos, though. I'm going to go with the Jets, and I'm going to take them to win plus 2. What did you say? 2.5?
2.5.
Yeah, plus 2.5.
I took the Bills.
Anything more to add to that?
Both ways.
Okay.
I think Jets got a lot going on with the O-line. I don't know. The Jets are still the Jets at the end of the day. I think if they're going to be good, they gotta break themselves in.
Yep.
I'm with Alex on this one. I agree wholeheartedly. I take the Bills. Better quarterback in the game, more experienced team together. Buffalo.
Yeah, I am really interested in watching this one. Hopefully I'll be able to stay up past my bedtime. But I am going to take Buffalo and assume that they're still the best in the division until I see otherwise.
Wow. So I'm the only person taking the Jets.
No,
you took the Jets
Mike
too?
does.
Okay. Yeah, so me and Mike taking the Jets.
Smart guy.
You can't take the Jets.
Why not?
Because you're a company man. You
I
can't
thought
take
you
the
hated the
Jets.
Jets.
I do hate the Jets,
But he
but
hates the Bills, too.
I hate the Bills, and I like seeing R.A. McDermott, get his
I assume
R.A.
I should-
Resident assistant.
I assume I should know that.
The red ass.
You know what it is, Paul.
Okay.
You're
No,
playing
he's
coy.
right. No. Mike,
Mike, you swore.
I absolutely know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. So
I get it.
I'm for the Jets. I think they're gonna win this game, hoping they implode the rest of the way, but also hoping that the demise of the Bills that everyone's predicting is true.
Yeah.
Fred playing the long game.
Yeah.
He wants the Jets not just to fail with Rodgers. He wants the carrot to be there. Like
it's
almost
gonna
he
work.
wants like the 7-2 Jets to then fall apart.
Right.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
Have
the
Last
long
season
games
they started
crumble.
off great too, and
Right.
everyone's
Long
like,
game.
"Oh my God, the Jets are back!" Good. Nope.
Right.
Were the Jets ever here?
Huh?
They're not back.
No.
They're never here.
For Jets fans,
Well,
though.
in 1969.
Put yourself in their
Right.
perspective.
Jets
really
fans,
long
they
time ago.
grab onto anything.
My best friend is
you
a
win
Jets
2
season
games. They're
ticket
back.
holder. She's nuts.
Fireman Ed's back out of retirement.
They're
That's
dedicated.
fraud. All right, now we go back.
That's more like it.
to 425, and the Eagles, of course, are here against the Patriots. They're going to have to play the Patriots with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
In the house.
In the house.
Not behind center.
Do you know something?
Surprise.
Paul, what's this number?
Eagles by 4.
Eagles by 4. Disrespect. Such disrespect.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles. I think it's a tough first matchup for the Patriots, and for all the reasons that everyone's been glowing about the Eagles, I think that they'll take this one. I got Eagles 28-13.
Ooh.
Wow, we predicted the same score.
Ugh.
First one of the season, Philly.
I'm going to take Philly, but I have a much closer game. I think Philly isn't ready to play in the first half. They haven't played any preseason. It's been a minute since they've been out there. I like the Patriots to keep it close at halftime, maybe linger in the game a little bit, but ultimately too much offense for the Eagles, 27-21.
Okay.
I am more along the lines of Alex and Mike. I think the Eagles just, both sides of the ball, especially up front, are just better. And I think that's hard to overcome, even though I really have a lot of faith that Bill will have something in mind to slow things down a little bit and not get rolled. But I just don't know if they have enough trying to avoid getting blown out to actually be competitive in the game. 27-10.
Yeah.
Philly.
I'm looking ahead to the Miami game.
Wow.
More important
I was not
game.
expecting to hear that.
I just don't think the Patriots have enough in week 1. I'm really worried about this offensive line. They just haven't played together at all this summer. So for a lot of reasons, I just think I agree they'll keep it close in the first half, the Patriots, but I think Philly pulls away in the second half and they win 27-14. 27.
Am I the only one that picked a one-score game, huh?
Yeah.
Now, who scores last in your game?
It's a good question. I hadn't thought about that.
To me, that makes all the difference.
Yeah,
Did they take a 2-score game and make it a 1-score game, and they, by the way, touchdown?
I just
or
think
Was
Philly
it close
score,
and
does
Philly got
Philly
the
score
last
late?
one?
Put it
I
away.
just think this game means more to the Patriots. I think the Eagles know that they have bigger fish to fry.
I don't think there's any question about that.
And I think that the Patriots will come out and play hard. It's just they don't have the talent to beat the Eagles, so it'll eventually go Philly's way. But that's why I have it being close.
Yeah, of course.
Hope you're right.
I'm hoping I'm wrong.
No, we're all
obviously.
hoping we're right.
Yeah, well, you
Andy's
are.
Andy's not here. Andy's the only one who actually said on this show, I'm just rooting for my pick.
Yeah. I mean, but Paul is everything but Patriots.com. So
yeah. Everything but money in my paycheck
editor.
too.
No, I just it's just too early. But I think as opposed to last year and the year before, I think the Patriots are going to get better as the season goes.
I hope so.
That's going to be our saving grace this year is that we're gonna see the light at the end of the tunnel.
I'm not going to be surprised if I get a lot of mentions on Twitter saying, "What's the matter with Boss Man?"
What?
Like, this is not the rally.
What is going on?
That's not the rally cry that I was looking for.
That's
from
true.
the Boss Man.
Well, I've
our saving grace this year is going to be we're going to get.
Oh, Siri.
What is that?
Listen.
It's not my fault.
I've told everyone that I go into this season with no expectation, but I have hope. You know.
But that didn't sound very hopeful.
But yeah, like
week 1.
Hope for the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
it'll get better.
So you think by the
we're
end of the
holding
year
out
we're
for just getting better as the season
we're building
goes on.
towards
We're
something.
building. We're going to have some really, really good wins at the end of the year against some quality teams, and we're going to be like, okay, we see where this thing's going. It's going in the right direction.
That's a little better.
Yeah.
That's a little better.
That's definitely better than the crash landing we've seen the last 2 years.
No, I mean that's a little better than his initial synopsis of the season. I think that was more encouraging.
Right.
You're going to beat some good teams, but we might not be
yet.
ready to do
Not
that
ready
right
yet.
away.
Not
but
ready.
we will be.
Yeah.
I
Gotta
like
walk
that.
before you can run.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. That's going to be it for this edition of Patriots Unfiltered, our first full week of shows. Stay tuned for Catch 22 with Evan and Alex. That's coming up right after this. And pregame show
2:05.
2:10.
2:10. Sorry, 2:07.
2:07. 30 seconds.
2:10 on Sunday, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you for downloading this podcast. Subscribe on Apple, Google Play, and everywhere else you listen. Like the show? Please rate and review us. Listener comments and ratings help keep us high in the podcast rankings so new listeners can find us. Be sure to check Patriots.com for more news and more podcasts.
The world's original